Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Got Cheated by Girls and Made Harem with Makima and Quintuplets Sisters Part 2. Before we start, please go support SrabrazosxD for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. Chapter 7. Issei, it's been a long time since you sent Traitor back to the seal. The first thing was to deal with the consequences of the war. They wanted to promote me to Supreme Class Devil for having managed to save the lives of thousands, but I refused just as I refused to receive my set of pieces. After that I started to train. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it to protect my family and forget about the girls. Sona-senpai taught me what was necessary to pass even a university exam. I think she even taught me too much. The training was not easy if I compare it to Tanny's. You could say that I cried tears of blood. My emotions were lost one by one after seeing my hand stained with blood for the first time. Rias and the others were happy, marrying the weakest and least dangerous members of the Chaos Brigade while I was on my own, and I married the most dangerous ones, but Vala was injured, leaving me with the job. I have also kept myself in check on the displays of affection between the girls, and I hadn't seen my family in a while, so they told me in the last call we had they banned the girls from entering. And speaking of banning, Miguel-sama wanted to take away the option of praying to Asia and Zenobia, but I didn't want that to happen. I spoke to him, and I had to convince him to let them pray. I think love is not on my side. First my first girlfriend wanted to kill me, then the girls who I thought loved me left me to see what other idiots protected them while I couldn't. To save people I didn't say anything, but if they wanted that I would respect that. I thought about looking for a new love, but that didn't happen. I thought I would never feel something in my heart again, but that changed when I met Itsuki. In fact, I have a photo of her trying to trick a teacher pretending she was her sister. Then her sisters are also quintuplets. I get along with all of them well, with one not so much because of the fact that she is Tsudara, but that doesn't take away how pretty she is. But if I had to choose between them, I think for now I would choose Itsuki. Past. Issei was sent flying into the wall. Issei, ouch, that hurt. Louise-san. Louise, I'm teaching you all about street fighting. Issei, but it's not fair, I'm blindfolded. Louise, yes, because in street battles your eyes can be attacked, and you are 100 times stronger than me. Issei, I heard you. Louise, no, true. Issei sighed. Louise, come on, there's still a long way to go. Issei. Issei, yes. He stood up and positioned himself in front of the girl. She was beautiful. She had dark green hair. Her eyes were purple. She had big breasts. She gave a cold look, but she was kind. Weeks later, Issei was standing looking at the floor. On the floor there was a large pool of blood. There were several bodies of men and the occasional woman. The glow in Issei's eyes disappeared, making his gaze become colder. The women and men who did not attack Issei were on the floor in great panic. Some urinated on themselves because of the scene. Issei turned around and started walking towards them. Everyone was scared when they saw that Issei was with them. Days after night hotel. Issei was putting on a long-sleeved shirt. On the bed was a black-haired woman with a ponytail tied in a braid and with large breasts lying on the bed. Issei contacted Sirzex and he confirmed that the information was correct, and they caught the men and were already interrogating them. He took his things and left. Estuary sighed. He was training with Yusuk from home. His mother saw him drunk. She saw the interaction of those two. It was true that Yusuk came from a good family. He would have proposed a marriage before, but after seeing Issei he didn't. Venelana, hired Issei, the weakest pawn who could not use a magic circle, went from being a simple human to a demon, and from a demon he became the hero of the fractions, and someone very appreciated for the supernatural. Issei stopped broadcasting the Ape Dragon program a month after the girls broke up with him. Now nobody called him that when they saw his new cold and protective side. Venelana saw how Rias fell on top of Yusuk and they kissed each other. Venelana knew everything. She knew that the boys who fell in love with the girls took advantage of the fact that Issei could not save them. Venelana, I'm so sorry for you, you lost your true and only love. With Issei. This one was lying on a bed. The light in his room was a bright pink color. Issei had music. Sirzex gave Issei a house in the underworld. It was in a small forest. Issei entered a depression. He didn't show it to anyone and he spent it alone. He only did the work that Surzex and the others told him to do. From there he returned home and locked himself in to listen to music and train. Drake was in Issei's stomach listening to Issei sing the music. Drake, I'm getting worried. Present. Issei was watching the flames that were cooking the rice for the curry. Futaro Issei? Issei, ah yes. Futaro, you're okay, I've seen you very serious. Issei, no, it's nothing. I was just thinking. Issei, remember? Issei, what did you say, Fujiwara? Fujiwara, what you heard, the fools interrogated the prisoners and they all escaped. Issei, I see, keep me informed. Present. Issei, those idiots. Boy, I would like you to take care of my room. Issei turned around and saw the boys who said that to Ichika. And laughed if they knew the truth. Futaro, Issei, I have a request. Issei, request? Futaro, yes, it is about Miku. Issei, I need a little of your help. Issei, if you tell me later, it'll be okay? Issei went with Miku. Issei, what's wrong, Miku? Miku, try this. Issei saw the plate that didn't look good, but he saw how Miku had some small burns. Miku, smiley face. Issei, good. He tried the food and it was obvious that it wasn't delicious, but he ate it all. Issei, heh, it's not bad, you tried hard. Miku, yes. Issei turned around and saw Futaro leaving with Yotsuba. Issei, anything else you want to do? Miku, yes, come with me for a while. Evening. Issei, why is this happening? Itsuki was hugging Issei's arm in fear. Next to Itsuki was Nino. Itsuki, sorry Issei-kun, you had to accompany me. Issei, nothing is wrong, but are you okay? I see you are very scared. Itsuki, some classmates told me that the forest was haunted. Issei, hee that doesn't exist, Itsuki. Itsuki, I see you very calm. Issei, I envy you, I wish I wasn't afraid. Issei smiled. Itsuki, oh. She saw her hand and there was Issei's hand holding hers. Issei smiled at Itsuki. Itsuki blushed and looked away. Nino, huh? Issei, come on, it's okay. But out of nowhere. Futaro, go study. Itsuki and Nino turned blue and Issei looked at the boy with a bored look. Itsuki ran away. Itsuki, I can't take it anymore. Nino, wait, Itsuki comes back. Issei, he stared at the boy who was dressed as a scary clown. With a bored look. Futaro, oh my god, Issei, why does nothing scare you? Issei, I've seen much worse things, nothing can scare me anymore. Futaro, wait a minute, where did they go? With Mika and Ichika. Ichika, what do I think of Issei? Why do you ask that? You didn't like Futaro-kun? Miku, I'm undecided with Futaro. I feel heartbeats and I get excited. I've never felt that before, but with Issei I feel something deeper. I don't know what it is. Ichika, I see him. Miku, do you want to change dance partners? Miku, huh? Ichika, if I dance with Issei and you with Futaro-kun, it would be the best. Miku, but that wouldn't be fair to Issei. I would feel bad that he thought he was my second choice. Ichika, I don't think he feels that way. He knows how you feel about Futaro-kun, so I think it will be okay. Miku, and why do you want to dance with Issei? Ichika, so he won't feel bad. Miku, I should talk to the first one. With Itsuki. Itsuki, hi, this sucks. Issei, Nino. I hear something, but. Itsuki fell to the floor and started sobbing while crying. But out of nowhere he felt something on his neck and licked his face. He turned around, and it was Drake. Itsuki, Drake-chan. I was so scared. He hugs Drake and sticks him to his face. Drake, mind, she's little, it's good that I don't leave her alone, otherwise. Itsuki, thanks for being here, Drake-chan. Now I can walk a little more, thanks. This started walking. Drake, Well, I'll ask my partner to feed me a feast. After all, this girl is his weakness. After all, it's been a long time since he had one. He asked me how Offred is doing. With Yotsuba and Issei, they went to look for Itsuki while Futaro went to look for Nino. Yotsuba told him that she would stay to scare him, but Issei told Yotsuba that it would be fine since a dark forest was already very scary, and that Issei left his familiars to scare him. Issei, some advice? Yotsuba, yes, I like a guy with whom I made a promise, but he can't keep it. I don't know what to do. I don't know how he will react when he sees that I didn't keep it. Issei, I don't think that's something to worry about. Yotsuba, huh? Issei, I've known you for a short time, Yotsuba, but I know something, that if I had made a promise with you, I wouldn't care that you wouldn't keep it just by seeing you again. Yotsuba, then. Issei, what I want to say is that you follow your heart. I tell you this as a friend who already had his heart broken. Yotsuba, you never told me what happened. Issei, well, I will if you try hard with the boy. Yotsuba, it's a deal. Issei, okay. An explanation later. Yotsuba, I see, I'm sorry, Issei. Issei, it's okay, they say everything happens for a reason, and to a certain extent I don't regret it now. Yotsuba, why? Issei, because I have been able to meet you and your sisters. Yotsuba, They began to hear a moan. Yotsuba hid behind Issei. Issei, mind, what the heck, a ghost? Yotsuba, this scares me, Issei-san. He felt Drake's presence when he showed himself. There was Itsuki crying while hugging Drake. Yotsuba, Itsuki. Itsuki, Yotsuba. Hi. She saw Issei and went to him and hugged him. Itsuki, Issei. I was so scared. Issei, he reciprocated the hug. Sorry for leaving you alone. Yotsuba, if we should continue with the test of courage. Itsuki, no, I can't anymore, I'm at my limit. Issei, it seems that if we go we must look for Nino too. Itsuki, if you're right, Issei, let's go. Some time later. Futaro told Issei what happened with Nino. Issei, what are you thinking? He'll make you dog poop when he finds out it's you. Futaro, please help me. Issei, why don't you give up and dance with Nino? Futaro, no, impossible. I wouldn't like to, and I already have the dance with the chica. Issei, oh, that's true, well, let's hope everything goes well. Futaro, I see you happy, Issei, you are going to dance with Miku. Issei, yes, that's true, but I would like you to be the one to dance with her? Futaro, me, but why me? Issei, you are really stupid to consider yourself a genius. Futaro, wait, tell me. Issei, it would become troublesome, so no. Then let's go to dinner. They started walking. But out of nowhere Nino approached with a downcast look. Nino, sorry, Issei. Issei, what's wrong? Nino, you're not going to get angry? Issei, why should I be angry? Nino, I lost the ring in the forest when I fell. Issei, I see that doesn't matter, the important thing is that you're okay. Nino, forgive me. Issei rubbed her head with his hand. Issei, okay, I'll go look for him after dinner. Nino, sorry. Issei, I already told you that nothing happens. The girls watched as Issei calmed Nino down. Yotsuba, I take it very calmly. Ichika, if what Nino said is true and he gave it to him, I think his reaction is normal. Miku, but giving someone an engagement ring that their ex didn't want is something. Itsuki, it's a ring for her ex, so there's nothing special about it. She made a pout. Yotsuba, but it was very pretty, it could have been very expensive. Ichika, I don't think he gave Nino an expensive ring, maybe it cost something but not that much, right? Time later. Issei arrived at a ravine. There you see a ring with a diamond. Issei, here is. Drake, aren't you going easy on those little girls? Issei, do you believe that? Drake, yes, I would say too much. Issei, I can't deny it about Itsuki and Mika, maybe even Ichika. He took the ring but heard a female voice. A pretty expensive ring, I would say. Issei, it may be true, but that shouldn't matter, right? Made with the most expensive gold in the world and the rarest magic diamond in the world, one that changes color depending on the person's personality. Issei, how can I help you, Fuka-san? He turned around and saw a girl. Fuka, hey, a little more affection, don't you think? Issei, that's for people who don't want to kill me. Fuka, you didn't want to be mine and my sister's, it couldn't be avoided. Issei, so, what do you need? Fuka, well, the truth is that. With Ichika. Ichika and Futaro arrived at the dining room. Ichika, Futaro-kun, please dance with Miku. Futaro, hey, you too, Ichika? Ichika, if Issei talks to me, Miku will give you the answer. In the end, I will talk to Issei. Futaro, I see. Ichika, well, now let's talk a little. Hours later. Itsuki, hey, haven't you seen Issei? Futaro, if he said he would go look for the ring, he should have already returned. Itsuki, we haven't seen him, we've been looking for a long time. Futaro, I see, then let's go look for him. Long time ago, Issei. Issei was sitting leaning against a tree. In front of him was Fuka. Issei, I see, so there is a traitor. Fuka, you should look for him as soon as possible. Issei, I don't think so. Fuka, huh? Issei, I think it's time for you to laugh and the others to stop doing nonsense. So your mission will be to recapture everyone without my help and find the traitor. Fuka, what happened to you? Before you would have said that you would do it, and you would have left instantly. It's because of that girl, isn't it? The one with the stars in her hair? Issei, that's none of your business, and if something happens to him I won't forgive you. Fuka, huh, it seems that someone is getting dangerously close to that metal heart of yours. Issei, you better get going now. Fuka, if I don't want to bother you, if not, I don't know how it will go for me. This one is gone. Issei saw the moon and took out his headphones and put on music. Issei, a traitor, I think I should tell Sirzex at least. He took out his phone. Issei spent his time watching the moon and listening to music. With Futaro and the girls. Futaro, are you sure it's this way, Nino? This one was holding a flashlight. Nino, I don't know, I just walked around like a fool. Ichika, but this is bad, shouldn't we have come with a teacher? Maybe Issei won't have problems, but us. Miku, it's okay, I've been putting references to return. Yatsuba, who taught you to do that? Miku, Issei said that if one day I get lost, I should put something so I know I'm not walking in circles. Nino, but that idiot who is thinking is not going to find the ring easily. They passed some trees and Nino saw the hut. They saw the moon, thought it was beautiful, and saw some legs. There was Issei. Moments later. Issei, here you go, Nino, be more careful next time, but even if you lose it again, I will find it. Nino blushed and muttered something. Nino, thanks, although I would have preferred you to put it on me. This one went to Ichika's. Futaro, although I didn't expect that you would give the ring that you were going to give to your ex-fiancé to Nino, that's not right, Issei. Issei, and what do you have? I didn't give it to you with other intentions. Nino, and I wouldn't have accepted it with other intentions. Ichika, now I can keep it because I would have accepted it with other intentions. She winked at Issei. Itsuki/Nino, Ichika. Ichika, it's just a joke, don't take it seriously. Nino, don't say things like that, okay? Ichika, yes, let's go, don't be like that, go and thank Nino. Issei and Futaro approached the girls, but Ichika, go on. He threw Nino. Nino, wait. He moved forward but tripped on a stone, falling on top of Issei. Oh, ah! Nino opened her eyes in surprise and noticed that she had her breasts on Issei's chest, and Issei had his hands on her hips while Issei was underneath her. Nino blushed. Nino, ah! This one walked away. Issei stood up as if nothing had happened and offered his hand to Nino. Issei, Edo, I'm sorry about what happened. Nino, This will cost you dearly, Issei. Issei, yes, then we will reach an agreement, although it is not my fault. Nino went to Ichika and started scolding her. Issei stared at Nino and began to compare her breasts with those of Louise and Fujiwara. Issei mind, it's true that they have big breasts, but the real question is how big they are. Drake, are you thinking that now? Issei, you can't deny me that, huh? Ichika, Issei, you are really a rascal. How did you like it? Issei, I'm not going to say anything, I'd better stay quiet. Nino, you say it like it's no big deal. Issei, think carefully about what you want, then tell me. Itsuki squeezed Issei's cheek. The next day, Issei was with SrabrazosxD on top of a mountain. Issei, as I said, fuck it, didn't tell me anything else, you have to do it. If I do it, I'll know immediately. It must be someone like you, Agrafia, maybe your mother. SrabrazosxD, I see, thanks for the information, but seriously, you won't do it. Issei took the ski board. SrabrazosxD, Issei? Issei was buckling his feet next to the board and put on his headphones. Issei, I'm sorry, I can't hear you anymore. SrabrazosxD, I know you hear me. This one put music. Issei, right now it's not my problem, so I wish you luck and the others. This jump. SrabrazosxD, he left. SrabrazosxD sighed and left in a magic circle. With Issei, he was talking to Drake, who was in his head under his hood. He spoke to Issei mentally. Issei, wow. Drake, I've never seen you so happy just skiing. Issei dodged a tree. Issei, because it's the first time I've done it without having to watch someone. This jump and did a flip in the air. Drake, hey, be more careful. Issei, yes. Drake felt like Issei's mood levels were 300 times, no, even 1,000 times more lively than before. This overwhelmed many people. With the girls. Ichika, we are all here, but someone is missing. Nino, are you sure he came? Miku, I think I already saw it. Yotsuba, where I don't see it. Miku, the one on the board. Itsuki arrived with a hot chocolate. Itsuki, he told me he was going to climb to the top. I thought he was joking, but he's really doing it. Futaro, he also knows how to ski. Is there anything that idiot can't do? Nino, well, let's wait here a bit. With Issei. This one was dodging people who were going a bit slow. Drake, oh baby. Slow down, buddy. Issei, come on, we're going to finish, but if we start to slow down. Issei settled down and began to slow down. When he finished this, he got off the board and went to where the girls and Futaro were. Ichika, was so much speed necessary? Issei, yes and no, heh. Miku, I thought there was a speed limit. Issei, I think so, but it's a bit late, hee. Itsuki, who taught you to skate like that in the snow, Issei? Issei, a friend I met a long time ago. It took me a long time to learn. Nino, that's a lot. Issei, I think in what I learned I think I fell about 200 times. Everyone laughed at Issei's comment. Issei, it may be funny but not for me. Ichika, now you want your one sand to comfort you. Issei, yes please. Everyone laughed at that. Yotsuba, well, since we're all here, let's continue with the challenge. I'll give you 30 seconds to hide. The first one I find pays for the hot drinks. Itsuki, hey wait, I have a drink, I can't do it like that. Yotsuba, and it starts. Nino and Ichika were the first to leave. Futaro, see you later, Issei, run! Yotsuba, 5, 6, 7. Issei saw Mika and smiled at her before nodding towards Futaro. Mika nodded and went after Futaro. Issei, well, I think we're the only ones left. Itsuki, yes. Issei smiled and took Itsuki's hand. Itsuki, hey wait. They started walking through the snow. Some time later. Issei, no, Itsuki, if you move too much to one side, you'll go too far. Itsuki, although it is almost the same, but it is more difficult with only one board. Issei, hey indeed it is as you say. Itsuki, well, I'll try again. Issei, try to move forward, I will stop you if necessary. Issei took a few steps forward in front of Itsuki. Itsuki, here I go. Itsuki started to move forward but began to gain some speed and was about to fall, but Issei took her by the hand and waist. Issei, that was something dangerous, are you okay? Itsuki, Edo Issei, is it true that you won't dance with Mika anymore? Issei, hey, how do you know? Itsuki, I heard it from Ichika and Mika yesterday, and Mika talked to you, right? Issei, well, it's something we're thinking about, but I don't think I'm going to dance with Mika. Itsuki went to Issei and hugged him. Itsuki, so would you like to dance with me? Issei, Itsuki. Issei hugged Itsuki, but out of nowhere he let go. Itsuki, hee, I'm not kidding, it was a joke. Issei, okay, come on, let's continue. I'll hold you while you move forward. They were like this all day. Late. Everyone was in the dining room. Everyone had a hot chocolate. Issei, so you saw your crush. Nino, was a pity he left without even looking at me. Issei, come on, he must have had something to do, don't take it so hard, okay? Speaking of which, how does Futaro Ichika feel? Ichika, it was just like you said. I think if you hadn't given us that medicine we would be sick. Issei, I see, hey Miku, will you join me for a moment? Miku, yeah? This was with Issei. These began to speak. Evening. Issei was looking at the bonfire. He turned his gaze slightly and saw how Itsuki was with Ichika and Yatsuba. Futaro was dancing with Miku. Ichika told Futaro that she will dance with Miku. And Issei told Miku that it was okay for her to dance with Futaro. Issei smiled and Nino came to his side. Nino, why do you have that face? Issei, because I'm happy to see Mika happy. Nino, Mika told me that she asked you to dance with her, right? Issei, yes, but I knew she wanted to dance with Futaro. Nino, I dislike that idea, don't you see? Issei, are your ideals like the boy you saw? Nino, you didn't see him, he was much more handsome than you. Issei, no, and calm down, don't tell me anything. But his gaze fell on the forest. Hey Nino, how long do you think until the last song? Nino, how much if it's only the second one that's come out so far? Issei, I see, I'll be back now. Nino, Issei? She followed him. Itsuki saw that too and followed them both. Some time later Nino was following Issei from behind, but she collided with light branches and that caused her skirt to break slightly. Nino, Issei, wait. But I ran into something invisible. Nino, what the heck? She extended her hand and saw how it collided with something invisible. The only thing I could see was Issei's back moving further and further away. With Issei. This one arrived in front of a group. Issei, they really like to cause trouble for me, don't they? There were the girls and the leaders. Issei, when Fujiwara informed me that the prisoners of the Chaos Brigade escaped, I thought it was a joke when they told me, but it really happened. Explanation later. Issei looked at the girls with extreme coldness. Issei, are they idiots? Girls, hee. Issei does not dream. Rias saw? Issei, did you expect me to clean up your mess while you guys have fun? Akeno, that's what we should say. You were sleeping with most of them. Issei, are you stupid or what? It may be true, but I did it to get information which led me to more and more. Azazel, hey, let's go, Issei. Issei, no Issei, do you know how difficult it was? Rosweiss, we were also marrying the Chaos Brigade, so. Issei, come on, you stupid slug, you shut up. Rosweiss. Issei held his forehead with his hand. He sighed and spoke. Issei, fine, I'll do it, but on one condition. He saw the girls. Akeno saw Issei mischievously. Akeno, oh Issei-kun, you are very daring. Well, how many of us have to sleep with you? Issei, huh? Who said I wanted that? I have a more realistic request. I will take care of the entire Chaos Brigade by myself, but I will do it this time only when they catch 50 of the most dangerous ones. Rias, what? Surzex, a reasonable price. Issei, if you do it, I'll take care of the rest. Issei left the place some time later. When Issei came out, he met Nino. Issei, did something not let you pass? Nino, yes, what happened? Issei put his hand on Nino's forehead. Issei, no, you don't have a fever. Nino blushed. Issei, but your face is red, are you okay? Nino, it's not because of that. Issei, hey, calm down, I'm just bothering you a little. Nino, you are cruel, you know, Issei. Issei, I guess, but I'm not like those boys you like, sorry, Nino. Through the silence, the music of the dance was heard. Nino, Issei. Issei looked at her. Issei, yes? Nino, since none of us could dance with the person we wanted, would you like to dance with me? Issei opened his eyes in surprise. Issei, well, if you don't mind dancing with someone like me. He approached Nino. Nino extended his hand and Issei took it. They started to dance for a while, and when they finished they smiled at each other. Then he gave a light laugh. Issei, you're funnier than I thought. Nino, and you are less of an idiot. Behind a tree. It's Suki, it can't be Nino you. Some time later. Nino, goodbye Issei, she went with her friends. Issei stretched out, and out of nowhere someone took his hand. Ichika, do you want to dance with me? Issei, huh? Chapter 8. Ways to tell the difference. Issei was lying on an armchair while watching the situation. Futaro, Itsuki Miki Yatsuba Nino Ichika. Nino Miku Itsuki Yatsuba Ichika. Issei/Drake, ha 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 ha. Miku, weren't you going to teach us today? Futaro, it's so rare to see you so cheerful, Nino. Miku, Nino, I am Nino. Futaro, and that's the reason without any clue I can't tell them apart, right, Issei? They all saw Issei. Issei, don't you think it's your lack of interest in this? Futaro, you say it like it's so easy. Issei, partly it's true, but you just have to notice the differences of each one. Futaro, an example? Issei, an example, well, let's start one by one. Nino, you say it like it's so easy, Issei, I'm sure you don't even know how to tell us apart. Issei, do you want proof? Nino, go ahead. They all went to change their clothes. Some time later. Futaro had covered Issei's eyes. When they arrived, they all made a circle and began to spin. Already? Futaro 3. Issei, it's true that they are quintuplets, but I already know how to differentiate them. This one saw slightly from left to right. Nino, are you giving up now? Issei sighed. Issei, and there is Nino. Child. Issei was to make it difficult, not easy. But well, Itsuki Yatsuba Nino Ichika Miku. They were all shocked to see Issei guess. Itsuki, how did you know? Issei, it's very easy, we start with his gestures. Ichika has gestures of maturity, Nino, Issei sighed. Nino, why did you sigh? Issei, is a bit problematic because of his gestures of kindness and hardness, in other words his tsudori's changes. Nino, I'm not a tsudora. Issei, Miku for her calm smile. Yatsuba for her enthusiasm. And Itsuki for her warmth that radiates. Futaro, don't you have another way? Issei, well, actually, yes. He approached Itsuki and put his hand on his cheek. Itsuki was surprised but then smiled relaxedly. Issei, I can tell Itsuki apart by her cheeks, they are the prettiest of the 5. Miku Ichika felt jealous, and Nino felt something strange seeing that scene. Yatsuba, to my Issei-san. Issei, yes. He stopped caressing Itsuki. Itsuki grabbed his cheek. Issei, to Yatsuba for the energetic smile she has. Yatsuba XD. Issei, Mika for her eyes, Nino for how she dresses, and Ichika for her kind but somewhat mocking smile. Issei started saying a lot of things. Issei, and that's how I tell them apart. Futaro, you defeated me. Well, I have no choice. Everyone here will take this exam. Issei, I'll pass. There's no favoritism here, Issei. Sometime later. Nino, why do we have to go through this? Yotsuba, XD. Itsuki, I can't believe it. Miku, Futaro is very serious today. Issei, I'm done. All shocked. Issei lay down on the small table next to Ichika and gave the exam to Futaro. Ichika, mind you dug your own grave, Futaro. At that moment I went into shock and ran you away without further ado. I'm not doing so well in the exams because I don't try hard, but with Issei's help and more of my efforts I'll do well. I'm sorry for everyone, but let's end this. I'm thankful that Issei is here, thanks that can dry my hair more and I could change better. But Ichika, wait for my lyrics. She was watching Futaro, who was reviewing Issei's exam. Ichika, I'm sure she's going to compare the lyrics. That was close. Done. I'm the first of us. Futaro left Issei's exam and saw Ichika's butt. Futaro, you are the culprit. Ichika, huh? Wait until I change my writing. Futaro, here, how you write the B, you are the only one who writes it in italics. I don't know them well enough to differentiate by their faces, and I'm not like Issei who can do it, but I've seen their writing more than you think. Ichika, you caught me. Ichika fell to the ground as Futaro laughed. Itsuki, Eto, we also finished. Futaro, okay, I'll check. Issei, okay. Ichika, it's okay, just do better next time. Ichika, Issei-kun. I hug him very tightly. Issei, wait until you squeeze really hard. Issei didn't feel any pain, but he pretended. Ichika, I will try harder. Issei, yes, I understand, XD. Futaro, why is this happening to me? Some time later, Issei was talking to Futaro. Issei, I see, you want to see if any of them is the girl from Kyoto. Futaro, call me crazy, but do you think they are a? Issei, I don't know, I didn't see what the girl was like, I can't tell you. Futaro, if you're right, there's no way any of those idiots knew her, she was very smart. Issei, don't say that in front of them or they'll kill you. Futaro, you're right. Issei, come on, we must continue studying. I will give you some motivation. Futaro, I don't know what I did for God to give me a friend like you, I thank him. Issei felt a slight headache. Issei, come on in. Futaro, if I see you there. Issei, friend, huh? It's been a while since I made a friend. With estuaries and the others. They were fighting against several men and several women, who were attacking them unilaterally. Because they were naked and made the girls close their eyes, their boyfriends were fascinated by the women's bodies and received several attacks. Man, we don't know if the Red Emperor will come out, we must flee before he arrives, let's go. Woman, ready, I already have the transportation circle. It will activate in 3 seconds. Rias, quick, don't let them escape. Akeno, if you laugh, Sama. Asia, yes. Woman, ready. Man, very well, go on, start again. This took the woman's head. Rias was about to attack, but they disappeared. When they saw there was only one destroyed room left. Rias, it can't be. Another circle appeared and from there came Fujiwara. Later. Fujiwara, it's the 10th group that escapes. I'll tell you something, it doesn't matter if you're naked or not, you have to fight. Rias, you say it so easily. Fujiwara, I know you don't, but now that I think about it, you left Issei because I couldn't save you, besides because he couldn't stop thinking about breasts and because you considered him childish or immature, right? Rias, and what does that have to do with it? Fujiwara, I asked her why her boyfriends are so hurt. I think you idiots can already get an idea. A decision. Issei, I've seen a lot, but there's no other choice. pass the exams and I'll grant you a wish no matter what it is or how stupid it is. So give it your all to pass the exam. All, yes. Issei laughed and looked at Futaro and this river with bitterness. Issei, good luck. Yesterday I couldn't sleep, so I'll go to sleep. Futaro, yes, I see, rest then. Issei. Ichika, if you want you can stay here to sleep. Issei-kun. Issei, no, I don't want to be a bother. Ichika, you're just going to take a nap. It's okay if you take it here. It's okay if you join us for dinner. Issei, yes, but Itsuki, I don't care. Yotsuba, go ahead. Issei. Nino, Gem, I don't want to have you here, but it's okay, I guess. Miku, come on, lie down on the couch. Issei. Issei, very well, I will do it. He lay down on the couch, put on some small headphones that he had in his pocket, turned on some music, and began to see how the girls paid attention to Futaro. Issei began to close his eyes little by little until he stayed. Some time later, Futaro had already left. Ichika, we will go for the ingredients. Nino. Nino, okay, I'll see what I can do then. Itsuki, don't wake up. Issei. Nino, yes, calm down. She started walking. Nino, what should I do now that Issei is here? I don't know if he's allergic to something, should I ask? She approached Issei and saw how Issei moved as if he were in a nightmare. Dream. Drake watched Issei's dream with sadness. Issei found a friend who supported him in breaking up the girls and helping him face the Chaos Brigade, and seeing all the possible mistakes in doing so while having fun. At this moment, Issei was recreating what happened. There was an impossible mission. He was the only one alive on the team. He faced his friend. They spent almost all their strength. It was a duel to the death. Only one could come out alive. The plan was for them to distract the people and guards, but the team was defeated. They couldn't handle everyone without their magic. In that state, there was only one option. Man, what are you waiting for? Finish it. Issei. Do it. Issei, we can get out of here. No, both of them. He took her back and put her on his shoulder, and she fell to the floor. Issei. Referee, the winner. Some time later, Issei was in the part where they throw the bodies. He saw the lifeless body of his friend. He began to walk from side to sit on his knees and squeeze his hair. He hit the floor, cracking it to go to the wall. Issei, ah. The part where he hit began to break, and his hands began to bleed. He fell to his knees, putting his hands on the ground, and tears began to come out. Reality. Nino watched Issei continue moving. He saw his hand and took it to feel how Issei squeezed it, and his expression relaxed. Nino, you're fine now. She sat down and put Issei's head on her legs and began to caress his hair. Nino, don't get excited. I won't give you any more special treatment. He laughed and continued doing the same thing for a while with Ichika and the others. Yotsuba, okay, let's see. Milk, eggs, flour, oil. Miku, I want and for some things. Ichika, then I'll help you, let's go. Ichika and Miku left. Itsuki, come on. With Ichika and Miku. Ichika, can I ask something? Miku? Miku, that would be it? Ichika, I want an opinion. What do you think about Issei? Miku, what do I think of Issei? Well, I don't know what to say. Why do you ask? Ichika, I think I like it. Miku, huh? Miku, but why do you ask me? Ichika, I want to know if this feeling is love or just because he's my friend. I want to know what you feel when you're with Futaro. When I feel like I'm with Futaro, I feel almost nothing. I have fun with him, but with Issei my heart races, and he's the first boy that I'm not confused with. What do you feel when you're alone with one of the two? Miku, I don't know. She started to see what was happening with Issei and Futaro. She felt the same way. Ichika, Miku? Miku, I'm sorry, I feel the same way about them. Ichika, so you like both? Miku, no, it's not like that. With Itsuki and Yotsuba. Yotsuba, AAA, you really are indecisive. If the page says that you are in love with Issei, what are you waiting for? Tell him that you like him. Itsuki, but what if he doesn't like me because of my physique? Nino tells me that very often. I don't think Issei wants someone like me. Yotsuba, you don't lose anything, do you? And I don't think Issei would notice something like physical appearance. If you like him, tell him. I'll tell you a piece of advice that Issei told me. Itsuki advice. Yotsuba, you don't lose anything by saying it, and if you don't dare you would never have an answer, but he said it like. The enemy of man is doubt. Itsuki, doubt is an enemy. It's a strange phrase, but if you're right, well, in that case I'll tell you. With Mika. Miku, so if you're so sure you like him, tell him, you have nothing to lose. Ichika, well, I'll see if I really like him, and if so, I'll tell him. Miku mind, I didn't think that Ichika would fall in love with Issei, but love and discussion. Days later. Issei and Miku were having breakfast at a restaurant. Issei, if you take it that way you could make a breakthrough. Miku, but I want to ask something. Issei, yes of course, what's wrong? Miku, if Futaro rejects me. Issei, you shouldn't think so negatively, okay? Miku, it's true. Issei, well, let's finish breakfast and do what we have to do. Issei and Miku were looking at places where she and Futaro could have a date. Issei, I think it's okay here. Miku, yes, and I have you to give me courage that day. Issei, hey. Miku, Issei? Issei, if the situation is that you will have to have courage that day because I already have a plan that day. Miku, what kind of plan? He grabbed his chest with a strange feeling. Issei, I have to go to a friend's wedding. Miku remembered Vala and his fiancée. Miku, I see if it's okay, it's true, I won't always be able to have you supporting me. Issei, come on, don't look at it like that, it will only be that day. Miku looked at Issei with crystal clear eyes. Issei, okay, let's see if we can do it after or before the date. Miku smiled at Issei. Some time later. Issei and Miku were exiting the elevator when they heard a scream. Itsuki, Yusuji-kun. Issei and Miku saw Itsuki with Futaro on the floor. Miku, Futaro is okay? He ran away. Issei saw a bubble coming out of his nose and sighed to laugh and go with them. Issei, you should take care of yourself more often. Futaro, I can't be the only one who doesn't try hard. Issei, I don't think you're trying too hard, come on, take a break. Next time you can ask for my printer to do that. Futaro, I don't think I can do that. Issei, come on, don't be so modest, didn't you say that we are friends? Futaro, thanks Issei, come on, let's go. Issei, I'm sorry but I have to stop by today. Futaro, huh? Issei, I was supposed to go to dinner to visit my parents this weekend. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon or on Monday. Futaro, I see if that makes sense. I imagine you want to live with your family. Issei, yes, this is for you and Reiha-chan. Issei gave Futaro a bag of instant noodles. Futaro, thanks to Reiha, he will love it. Issei, good luck, see you later. Futaro closed the door when Issei left. Futaro, well, I'll have to manage without Issei. I don't think anything serious will happen. When he entered, he saw that everyone was sitting and excited except Nino. Futaro laughed self-deprecatingly at how Issei put them like that for the reward. Itsuki, and Issei? Futaro, he said he was going to go with his parents this weekend, so he already left. Ichika, it can't be, I thought he would be studying with us. Miku, she didn't even say goodbye. Yotsuba, come on, Issei doesn't have problems at school, not like us, so it's natural that he wants to see his family. Futaro, come on, Issei won't leave our lives overnight. Another day. It's time to study. With Issei. Issei, I refuse, this was in front of the leaders of each faction. Azazel, come on, the 3 months you asked for are over, we need you to come back. Issei, it wouldn't be necessary if those fools took seriously what I did, so I refuse, I want to be calm for a while. Odin, it's weird that you're so negative. Before, would you have accepted without thinking that something happened? Issei thought about his new life. Issei, nothing special, but as I said, I refused to do that. I did my job and now it's the turn of the one who messed it up to fix it. Searches, and that's why we're asking you to take charge with extra pay. Issei, it's not about the money, Searches-sama. With the DxD girls. You were seeing a photo of Issei and a girl in a restaurant having breakfast happily. A dark emotion was flooding the room. The girls were wondering who that girl was. Akeno, now it seems that Issei's taste has gone down a lot after having women like us. Now he likes this type of girls? They all agreed. The girls realized that they changed Issei for a useless one in these days, that they were marrying the Chaos Brigade. They saved them once that, and nice words blinded them, but now they were going to go with everything to get Issei back. With the quintuplets. Nino/Itsuki, I'm out of here. Chapter 9. Part 1, A Dark Truth. Futaro, well, Issei left, but that's no reason not to study. So let's give it our all. And remember, if you manage to pass this exam, Issei will give you a reward, so try hard. Oh, yes. Ichika mind. He asked me what he should ask Issei this time. Last time I asked for the photo because I wanted to see those tattoos and know what they meant, if that was all. She was solving problems easily thanks to Futaro, who was teaching them, and to Issei, who motivated them. It was easier to do homework and study. Mika mind, another reward. I haven't even asked for the first one he gave us. What should I ask for? Yatsuba, AAA, because Issei had to leave. I wanted to ask him for help to be able to say no. I think I'll ask him as a reward to be able to say no sometimes. Itsuki mind. Issei, here, you do this so you can solve that, and that's how you finish it. Itsuki, I think Issei is also good at teaching. I think if I had met him before Yasuji-kun, I would have asked him for help. Mika mine. Miku, damn, Issei left when we were thinking of a plan for the date with Futaro. No, I can always depend on Issei for this. I must be able to tell Futaro what I feel if I will pass this exam, and tell him what I feel, but Nino felt the place very quiet. Without Issei he couldn't do anything to improve the atmosphere, but something was not clear. If Issei was going to see his family, did that mean he would also see the girl who despised him? Nino, I don't know why. He's been gone for a short time, and the strange thing is that now I consider him a close friend. She saw his ring and already knew what to ask for as a reward. He would tell her that he would tell her about his past. She wanted to know more about the person called Haida Issei. Futaro, very well, how are you? Miku, I'm halfway there. Ichika, I'm almost done. Yatsuba, I haven't made much progress yet. Itsuki, I'm done with the trouble you gave me. Futaro, well, Nino, how are you? Nino, you don't have to ask, I'm almost done too. She showed her notebook to Futaro, but Futaro, hey, this isn't going to be on the exam. Nino, huh? Oh no, that's not bad. Futaro mine. Is she really a fool should say that? But she remembered something that Issei told her. Issei, it's normal for a person to make a mistake. Instead of giving him a sermon and seeing that he's trying hard, the best thing is to give him a few words from Apollo and help him if you can. Futaro, that's it. Futaro, Nino, don't pass. Miku, Nino, take it seriously. Nino gritted his teeth. Nino, how am I going to take something so boring seriously? I'll study in my room. Futaro, hey. He became depressed, but Itsuki gave him some words of support. Itsuki, you'll be fine, you shouldn't give up, otherwise you'll regret it later, we're counting on you. Futaro, yes. Nino was halfway up the stairs, but Futaro, Nino, wait, we're just starting and you're already left behind. Nino, keep quiet for once, you don't know anything. Futaro, but hugs, everything went the same until Nino, I see, in that case I'm leaving. All, huh? Nino, I've been thinking about this for a long time. This place will be my downfall. Itsuki, wait, Nino, Mom would be sad if she saw us like this. Nino, stop talking about our mother's name, she will never come back. Itsuki, oh. Yatsuba, Nino, don't be hasty. Ichika, It's true, we have to talk about it. Nino, she was the one who hit first. I don't plan on living with the monster of meat buns and domestic violence. Itsuki, violence meat? If it bothers you so much, then I'm leaving. Nino, yeah? Then go away. Futaro, what do I do? Issei. He turned around, but the place where Issei sat was empty. With Issei. This one was on a desk looking at a map. In front of him was Fujiwara and Sona. Issei, they really left me a lot of work. Sona, well, what can we expect from you, Issei-kun? Hihi. Issei, so these are the 4 cities where I should attack? Sona, you're just going to attack? Just like that? Issei, if it were to gather information I would do it calmly, but now it is only capture or kill. The leaders told me capture or kill those who escaped. Fujiwara, and he respected the women who offered to go back to jail, but in exchange they want a night with you. Sona was surprised by what Fujiwara said. Issei, I see, in that case tell them that. I was about to say yes, but the image of the girls came to mind. Issei, tell them no, I can offer them other things. Fujiwara was surprised to hear Issei's answer. He didn't like this answer. He knew why it was. Fujiwara, oh, I see. Sona, I'll go now, I have to help at school. Good luck, Issei-kun. Issei, thank you. Well, now about the groups that doubt the alliance and want to reveal themselves, what did you find out? Fujiwara, all but one want a signature that you will remain part of the alliance. Issei, and the other one? Fujiwara, wants you to give them the offrig head for their room in addition to the sacred gear. Issei, is he an idiot? Fujiwara, I should declare that you will destroy the place, right? Issei, should I? That's where I found you. Fujiwara, if that place is where my family and my sister sold me, I wanted to stay that way, and because I might find her there. Issei, well, keep investigating the man. I want everything I can use against him. Fujiwara, I already did it, here it is all, favorite foods, movies, series, the preferences he looks for in a woman, these are his wives and the only lover among them. Issei was surprised to see that the only lover was a woman between her 30s or 35s. She was very young, she had red hair, blue eyes and white skin. Issei, why is she the only one who is not a wife? Fujiwara, I'm on it. Issei, well, keep investigating and tell him that I won't give him anything he asked for, and that if the problem isn't resolved in a short time, I'll take care of it myself, that's all. Issei stood up. Fujiwara, Issei, no, are you softening up? Issei, why do you say that? Fujiwara, it's nothing? Fujiwara noticed that living with those girls was making Issei calmer. The simple fact of not accepting to mess with the girls said it all. Issei, I'm not softening, that's impossible. Well, now excuse me, I must continue with this job, rest because at night we will go to finish the job that those idiots gave us. Fujiwara, okay, but I have a question. As you know, I know everything about your life and you know everything about mine. I want to know what you will do with the free time that the leaders and gods will give you. Issei, isn't it obvious? I'm going to have fun with Miku and the others and enjoy my school life. Fujiwara, you say that as if you were so old. Issei, it's true that I'm not old, but living with people much older than you opens your eyes to life. I'll tell you this. It's okay to think about the future, but I don't know if doing so ruins your present. Fujiwara, I see. Issei, goodbye. This one is gone. Fujiwara, I'm not liking this, I have to get him away from them as soon as possible. With Issei. Drake, I see you're in a bad mood. Issei, you barely notice it. Drake, could it be because the leaders told you to stay away from the girls? Issei, don't remind me, if I don't solve this I'll have to say goodbye to the girls and Futaro-san, but if it comes to that I want to do some things. Drake, speaking of which, Offrig just informed me that Itsuki and Nino argued. And they both left home. Issei, huh? Wait, are you serious? Drake, if in fact Offrig followed Itsuki because he forgot his Nino wallet, I don't know anything. Issei, it would be bad to leave her alone, and now Drake, go find Nino and stay there. Drake, huh? Issei, nothing SC, I'll be fine without you. Drake, okay, I'll let you know what's going on. I'll see you later. My friend Drake disappeared. Issei saw the time and went home. With Drake hours later, he arrived at the place where Nino was staying, entered through a door, and hid under the armchair. Nino was lying on the couch looking at the ceiling, and at the same time she saw the ring that he gave her. She remembered Issei's words on the day of the school camp, the dance. She wanted to give him the ring after thinking if she should have it. Memory. Issei, like I said, you can keep it. I don't need it anymore, so it's okay. If you don't want it, you can sell it. Nino, it's not that, but after almost losing him, I thought. Issei, as I said, it doesn't matter how many times you lose it, I'll always find it and give it to you, Nino. Issei gave her a smile. Nino blushed. Nino, no, that can't be. I don't like Issei, it's impossible, and he's a liar. He said it, he said. He would always be there to support me, but he didn't. He's a liar. She took the ring and threw it. I heard it bounce, and a few seconds later it stopped making noise. Drake saw the ring lying on the floor under a piece of furniture. He laughed and continued lying down. It's been a while, but Nino, Issei is not a liar. He was not there at the time, but he would have done something if he was there. Drake, she really is a problematic girl. It's like my partner says, Tsuteris are problematic. Drake went for the ring. Drake, I guess I'll keep the ring until my partner comes back. But I hear Nino talking and starting to search. Moments later. Nino, he's not there, where could he be? How is that possible? This can't happen to me. A few light tears came out of her eyes. When he wiped his eyes and saw the floor, he was in shock. There was Drake with the ring in his mouth. Nino, Dragon-chan. Some time later. Nino, give me that Drake. Drake jumped onto the table. Nino ran to try to grab Drake but fell off the table. When Nino raised her face, Drake was in front of her, but she felt as if Drake was making fun of her. Drake, I think I found my hobby. Time lapse. Nino fell to the floor exhausted. Nino, because he has so much energy now, and when he is with Issei he only spends his time sleeping. Drake yawned and crawled under a piece of furniture that if Nino could grab him. Nino, this is going to be difficult. The next day. Miku, they didn't communicate anything. Futaro, has this happened before? Miku, sometimes, but I think this time is different. They are sisters, but something is not right. I think Issei's absence has hit hard, despite only being gone for 2 days. Futaro, why do you say that? Miku, I don't know how to answer that, but I know. Futaro, well then let's do everything possible. We can't depend on Issei forever. Miku, if you're right, let's go. Some time later. Futaro and Miku were drowned. Miku, I can't take it anymore. Futaro, we are the ones in the worst condition. Miku, well, what remedy? Miku went to the people and asked if they had seen anyone with the same face as her, and one told them that she had seen someone just like Miku. With Issei. Fujiwara watched excitedly as Issei pierced a man with his hand on his stomach. The rest watched the situation terrified. But there was one who had not yet lost hope of winning. Issei, you can't win, surrender now and I won't kill you. Man, that's all you have to say. It's true that we could do that, but as a leader I can't do that. I have to show why I'm the leader, and that's finishing you off. Issei, then come. Man, hee. This charge, a large yellow sphere, began to grow in an enormous way and the place began to be destroyed. The man's allies were delighted to see their leader face Issei. Man, despite everything you've said, you're not going to dodge it, right? Issei, how weak. The man, take this. Issei, behind me. The attack shot out at Issei. Issei took the attack head on, protecting his companions. The explosion was really big. When the smoke dispersed, Issei was standing on his feet. Everyone was in shock when they saw that, but Issei fell down. Fujiwara and the others were shocked to see that. Man, hee. Allies, hee. Man/allies, ha 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 ha. Man, you deserve it, I'm the strongest of the allies, sir. Man, Issei stands in front of the man, and in his hand was a red sphere. Issei, that attack wasn't bad. But I think my joke wasn't what I expected. Man, I can't finish because Issei's sphere grew to a size that completely covered the man. Man, Sazan! Issei, die. The sphere exploded, leaving a smoke blacker than that of the previous explosion. When the smoke cleared, the man's body was lifeless. The allies saw this, and their spirit was broken. Fujiwara, he is as ruthless as ever, that's how my Issei must be. Issei looked at the man he had just killed. Fujiwara, if Issei finishes them off, they are just problematic people, death is the quickest solution. Issei was about to kill the others because he was fed up, but mind Issei. Itsuki, sometimes I think that compassion is a good thing in some cases, he. Itsuki's smile calmed Issei's heart. Issei, arrest them, I'll leave the rest to you. Fujiwara was surprised to see Issei's decision. Fujiwara, Issei. Issei left the place. With Issei some time later, he was in the shower. This one was remembering what happened a while ago. Issei, what was that just before me? Issei remembered how he killed without thinking, but now what happened? Issei, I must be overthinking things if I just have to take a hot bath and relax if that's all. He got into the tub and let his body sink. With Fujiwara. Fujiwara, as you can see, Issei is no match for you, he is 100 times better. Rias and the others were in total shock. Issei caught so many prisoners in less than 2 days? Akeno, how did they catch all these in 2 days? Fujiwara, let them go and I'll tell you only the girls. Kiba, but. Fujiwara, if you don't obey, I'll leave. Rias, Kiba. Kiba, yes, let's go, Gasper. The girls and Fujiwara were left alone. Fujiwara, unlike you who are having fun with your boyfriends, Issei was trained to think like a hunter and catch whoever no matter what you have to do, and that's what happened, but now there's something that's bothering him. Asia, and that's it? Fujiwara, Issei is becoming more flexible and kind. Asia, that's not okay? I think it's okay. Fujiwara, it is clear that you only have a brain full of flowers in real life. If you are kind or naive, they kill you, and Issei is becoming like that by living with those girls. Rias, what are you saying and why are you telling us this? Fujiwara, wouldn't you like to have Issei in your bed for a night? Part 2. Miku and Futaro watched Nino with a drop of sweat. Drake was laughing at Nino internally. Nino, give me that Drake. It's not yours. Drake jumped onto the screen. Nino followed him like that for a while until Nino got exhausted and started to take a breath. Miku, you can tell it's Issei's pet, right? Futaro, yes, you are right. Nino, hey! How did they get in here? Wait, you need the key? Miku, I said I forgot the key inside and they came to open the door. Nino, what terrible security! Miku, come on Nino, it's time to go back. Nino, go away, we're just strangers. She pushed them, but Drake jumped on Nino's head and then went to Miku's neck. Nino, drag. Miku and Drake saw each other. She was surprised that Drake was with Nino, and not with Issei, and even more that he had the ring that Issei gave to Nino. Nino, stop it now, Miku has my ring since yesterday. Drake jumped back to the ground. Futaro, since he has your ring since yesterday, I don't think it will be that difficult to catch Drake. Nino, so? Fine, help me catch him. If you catch him before me, I'll let you try to convince me to go back home, but if I catch him, you'll leave. Futaro, don't underestimate me. Drake, this will be more fun than forcing my partner to cook for me. The three surrounded Drake. Drake, very well, you three against me alone. Some time later. The three of them were tired to the point of breathing rapidly. Drake, well, that's enough for today. He went into a corner and went to sleep. Futaro, now I understand why Issei doesn't worry so much about whether she really leaves his side. That thing is smart and fast. Nino, I hate to admit it, but you're right. Right, well, you didn't help me, so go away. She threw them out when they were outside. She tried to close the door, but Futaro put his hand. Futaro, wait, Nino. But. Nino, go away, leave me alone and give me my amulet. He closed the door and saw the amulet, and then saw that he had to cancel it. Nino, Kitaro-kun. Some time later. Futaro, we already know where Nino is. But we have no trace of Itsuki. Miku, and she forgot her wallet, so she must be somewhere in the city alone. Futaro, I don't want to admit it, but I think the only one who can change Nino's decision is Issei. Miku, yes, but we don't know when he'll be back. Futaro, well, I'll take care of that. He took his phone and dialed Issei's number. Miku approached the phone. Issei, hello? Futaro, oh Issei, how are you? Issei, I could be better now. I have some small problems. What's happening? Is it unusual for you to talk on the phone? Futaro, to tell the truth. An explanation later. Issei, I was already saying why Drake didn't pull my hair. Okay, I'll talk to Nino. Let me tell him some things about Drake. Futaro, I owe you thanks. Issei, don't worry, wait, what are you doing here? No, wait, no, what are you doing here? No, no, no. Man shouts. Futaro, Issei? Miku, Issei, what's wrong? The phone hung up. The two looked worried. With Issei. Fujiwara and the girls. You are tying up Issei. Issei was with a bored look. The knots they used were terrible. A slight movement, and he would be released. The girls were wearing very daring clothes. If it were Issei from before now, I would be thinking Fifi down. Issei, okay, now you've had fun, are you going to let me go? Rias, isn't that a rude attitude towards someone who loves you? Issei, you're going to say someone who loved me, right? Asia, how cruel, Issei-san. Issei saw Asia's eyes. They were green, but in the center there was a heart. I turned around and saw the others, and they had the same heart. Issei, Fujiwara. Fujiwara, okay girls, take out your weapons. The girls started taking off their bras. The next morning. Issei was asleep in his bed, covered, sleeping peacefully, and the girls were tied up with a bump on their heads, and Fujiwara was tied to the wall. Everyone was asleep. When out of nowhere Issei's phone started ringing. She covered herself with the blanket, and after a few moments the phone she dialed was Nino's. Issei, hello? Nino, you are complete garbage. Issei's drowsiness went away when Nino said that. Issei, are you drunk? Nino, drinking while being underage. Nino, I'm not drunk. Issei then? Nino, Kintaro-kun was the best boyfriend candidate, and you had to ruin it. Issei, why did I ruin it? Nino, you've changed my way of seeing the world, now you're back with me. Issei, but. With Nino. When he said the above, his face turned red. Nino, it's my reward. Issei, but AAA, well, it's okay. Nino, well, you'll have to come back sooner, you promise, right? Issei, yes, I promise. Nino saw Drake come out of his hiding place with the ring. Nino, AAA, there you are, Drake. Issei, hey, now that I think about it, Drake is with you, right? Nino, yes, hey, how can I? Issei, haha, Drake has the ring? Ha. Nino, don't laugh. Issei, sorry, but don't expect that. Well, when Drake has something you want, there are two ways for him to give it to you. 1. Give him a juicy steak, or don't pay attention to it. He'll get bored before you and leave the ring wherever. Nino, I see, I'll try. Nino hung up the call. She turned around and saw Drake. Nino, a steak, huh? Some time later. Nino put the steak on the floor, and after a few seconds Drake came out and threw himself at the steak, dropping the ring. Nino grabbed it, and I can't believe it worked. She put it on and smiled. But at the same time he saw the amulet on his wrist. Seeing that, she imagined Issei and Kintaro seeing each other with murderous intentions to fight for her. Nino, if Kintaro-kun and Issei were to fight for me, who would win? If we talk about physique, I think Issei is superior, therefore there is an advantage there. But I don't know how Kintaro fights, so that would depend as much as possible on a fight. Issei would win, but as for me. Days later with Issei he was having breakfast with his parents. They laughed at Issei's stories. The girls watched with jealousy as Issei talked about the girls and Futaro as if nothing happened. Issei's mother was relieved that her son was happy. She hadn't seen him like that for a long time. Issei fed Rio when Fujiwara arrived. Fujiwara, Issei-sama, I have investigated everything you asked me for. The report is on your desk and the king requests your presence in 2 weeks. Issei, I see, then I'll go see him. Are you still arrogant? Fujiwara, yes, I have done everything you asked but you did not listen. Issei, I see. You can leave. Fujiwara left the place. Issei, well, it's time to see what to do. Issei's phone rang. Issei, Ichika? What's wrong? Ichika, we need your help. Issei, huh? Some time later. Issei, I see, well, I'll try to get there on time. Ichika, don't rush, but. Issei, okay, then I'll go as soon as possible. Ichika, thanks, Issei. Issei saw his parents, and they gave him a smile. Mother, go on, go. Issei, are you sure they aren't? Father, yes, we know that, it shows in your eyes, they are special, right? When the girls heard that, they squeezed the cutlery to bend it. Issei, well, I'll make it up to them later. Mother, if so, then bring them for Christmas, I will make a feast. Issei, it's okay but no magic. And no supernatural stuff. Mother, of course, son. Issei, well, I have to go. I'll fix the problem because it wouldn't be normal to arrive today. Father, and why don't you tell them about the supernatural? I'm sure that. Issei, I don't think it's a good idea. I imagine everyone's reaction. Ichika would be hiding behind a pillar. Although she looks and acts like an adult, she is very sensitive and childish. Nino, hey, you're the worst demon for deceiving us like that. She would be hugging Itsuki and Mika with a blue face. Even though she is hard and cold, Nino was Itsudara and she is the one who loves and cares the most for her sisters. Mika's would be a serious face but scared, Yatsuba's could be too. An era. Yatsuba, Issei is a demon, it's incredible, Issei, show me your evil. And the other would be. Yatsuba, AAA. Issei is a demon, save me, Yasuji-san. And Itsuki would be too. She would accept me as I am, but if not, she would be completely in shock. SrabrazosxD, how do you think they will react? Reality. Issei, so don't say anything, and by say I mean you. Issei pointed at the girls. Issei, well, I have to go fix a problem. See you later. With Itsuki and Reiha. Reiha, hey, do you really think that? I think Issei is a somewhat aggressive person, I don't know, but I get the feeling that he would beat up someone who causes him problems. Itsuki, that can't be true, Issei. Yusuji, well, I think I agree with Reiha. Issei, he looks like a terrible person, how to say it, an dishonest person or a very bad person. Itsuki, this is said by the person who told me to gain weight. Yusuji, touche. Itsuki, I'm not the only one, Issei is a kind person, he wouldn't hit someone. With Issei. This one ordered the king and his bodyguards to fly, he was in one of his most powerful armors. Issei had arrived at the castle and was going to solve the problem in a few weeks, but with the problem of the girls. But the king became arrogant, as his kingdom is one of the strongest, the factions wanted to make an alliance with them, but it was difficult with what they were asking for. Once searches was asked for Grafia. But Issei was asked for Offrig and his sacred gear. But what made matters worse was that they sent him to spy and told him that they also wanted the 5 girls he lived with. That filled Issei's patience. Issei, I can't believe that someone like you is king now. I understand why they want an alliance with this kingdom. It's not because of you. You are trash in your splendor. What they want is your people so loyal that they continue to fight for you despite the hunger and the treatment of your men. But I think it's time. Issei deactivated his armor. A man attacked from behind, but Issei stopped his weapon with his hand. Man, impossible! Issei, it is very light to resist the power of this fist cursed by the gods. Issei pierced the man's chest and pulled out his heart to crush it. The men backed away. Issei, who's next? Some time later. The people in the village were in shock watching as Issei dragged the king, and behind him came other men with the princes as well as the wives, but the lover was not there. Moments before. Issei, take everyone to the guillotine in the village and broadcast this moment. Fujiwara, what the hell are you thinking, Issei? Issei, are you going to do what I say? Fujiwara, yes, Issei-sama. Fujiwara knew he shouldn't make Issei angry. Man, Issei-sama, what do I do with her? Issei saw a woman with her head covered and looking down. Issei, it's obvious, isn't it? She too. When Issei removed what covered his face, he was in shock. I remember in memory. Itsuki, we all suffered a lot. The main one, I feel like it was me, but I'm glad to have met you, Issei. Mama, thanks for the angel you sent us. Issei. Itsuki turned around with a photo of his mother. Issei didn't know why, but he had seen someone like that. End of the second memory. Issei's anger erupted even more. Issei, it stays here and no one touches it. Issei's voice was cold. Men, yes, Issei-sama. Present. King, please forgive me. I will never be arrogant again. Please forgive me, I beg you. Issei threw the man down and put his foot on his chest. Issei, look at your people that you swore to protect. People were skin and bones and children were sick. Issei, this is a message for people who try to set an example for themselves. Prince, no one will obey you. You are just a dirty blood. You do not have blue blood like me. Issei, bring him closer. The men brought the prince to Issei's feet. Issei, I want you to stay there and now understand this. I am the new king now. Issei crushed the king's head with his foot so that blood splattered. People screamed with happiness when they saw that. Seeing how Issei crushed the head of the former king, the men decapitated the princes and wives. Some time later. Issei, I want medical help to arrive here soon and attend to the most seriously ill and the children first of all. Man, yes, Issei-sama. Issei, I want a large group of cooks as quickly as possible, sell whatever is needed from the treasure room to pay for good ingredients, and give the people the best food they have ever eaten, and by best I don't mean expensive, that is healthy and helps them improve. Woman, yes, Issei-sama. Issei, I want you to see the other cities within the kingdom. If the people are the same or worse, eliminate the one in charge and take control for the moment. Soldier, yes, Issei-sama. Issei, I want you to give notice to the people that I am the next king and that as long as I am the king everything will be fine. Soldier, yes, Issei-sama. Female, Issei-sama, regarding the castle. Issei, this castle is trash. I want it torn down, and whatever is useful sold to improve housing in the villages. Woman, if Issei-sama. Fujiwara, don't you think you're doing much? Issei, when a town like this is dominated, you must show that you will be better than the former kings so the people will accept you without fighting. Fujiwara, I see. Issei wants the palace plot to be used to train the townspeople. His power is incredible, but his training is disastrous. Fujiwara, yes, but regarding the funds, should I ask the people? Issei, are you an idiot? Use everything in the palace and sell it to activate the financial situation. While that money runs out, I will get the rest and give it to you. Fujiwara, yes, Issei-sama, the woman you asked for is in her room. Issei, I see you later. I'll leave the rest to you, see what's necessary. Issei disappeared. Fujiwara, those girls are dangerous. I must get him away from them as soon as possible. Time lapse. Issei, well now I just have to find Nino and fix this problem. before Yotsuba leaves with the club. But Ichika, Issei. Ichika hugged Issei from behind and hugged him. Issei, Ichika? Ichika, quickly let's go find Nino. I'm sure he'll hear you. Issei, wait, don't pull me. Ichika, alive. Captain. Nino, can I have a little privacy? Miku, no. Nino. Some time later. Nino, I won't go home even if you asked me to. She was emptying a sugar packet. Miku, so much sugar will hurt you, and I think Drake-chan too. Nino and Miku watched Drake drink the melon water that Nino made for Drake. Nino, I don't think it will hurt him more than the steak I gave him, and it's none of your business, your baby. You as a grandmother would never understand it. Miku took a sip of her tea. Miku, a girl never understood this bitter taste. Nino, when you're done, go, and how did you find my new hotel? This is a take of your tea. Miku, I saw you leave furious. What were you doing with Futaro? Nino, if I could sum up that day in one word, it would be terrible. I will never forgive him. A pink aura came out of Nino. Drake, this girl is very sensitive to insignificant things. She could use a reality check from my partner. This one returned to its corner. Nino, that's all? You're terrible. React more, please. Miku, it's something we do all the time. Are you in a position to say the same thing? Nino, I can't deny it. Miku, do you remember what Issei once said? Memory. Nino and Miku exchanged decorations to see if Issei would recognize them. They were identical. There was no way for Issei to recognize them, but he recognized them instantly. The words he said to them gave them a new perspective. Issei, look in a mirror before. Nino, you say it as if we were ugly. Issei, I never said anything like that. In fact, you are cute. And when I say that, I mean that you should look at your gestures and actions before trying to look at my face. Present. Miku, as Issei said. Before saying that about Futaro, look in a mirror and say that again. Nino, it may be true, but time and time again it was him. I will never forgive him. Miku, was that all? Nino, yes, that's all. She stroked her hair. Nino, I think I should decide this was to a part of the apartment. With Issei. Issei was walking to Nino's apartment. He knew the address thanks to Drake and Offrig. But Ichika, Issei. Issei turned around and Ichika ran happily towards him. Issei, Ichika? Ichika jumped and rammed Issei to make them both fall. Ichika was on top of Issei, something that made Issei and her stare at each other. Issei Edo. Ichika, it was about time you arrived. I missed you so much. She hugged Issei and squeezed him. Issei liked having people who loved him again, and because of the hug he could feel Ichika's breasts were very soft. A few moments later. Issei, I see, so you're also going with Nino. Well, due to certain problems, I don't know much about the situation, so would you mind telling me? Ichika, sure, leave it to me. She hugged Issei's arm and buried it in her chest. Ichika, I know that Itsuki likes Issei, but then why am I so attached to him? Some time later. Issei, it's not what I expected, but Miku, I think it suits her well. Issei, I guess. Nino, Issei, you are a liar. Issei, hold on, for what? But I haven't lied to you. Nino, you said if I gave Drake a steak he would give me the ring. Issei, and he gave it to you? Nino, yes, but then when I took it off. Issei, for? Nino, to take a shower. I take it and I haven't been able to get it off. Issei, ha, I see, well then I'll have to take it from him. Drake. Nino, do you think you can? Drake came out of his hiding place and went to Issei happily, and went up his leg followed by his abdomen to his chest and reached his shoulder. Issei, give me the ring. Nino and Miku were left with their eyes wide open as they watched Drake go with Issei so easily and they couldn't even catch him. Issei put his hand on Drake's and he released the ring. He laughed and went to the table for a wet towel and cleaned the ring. To go in front of Nino and ask for her hand. Nino was shocked and blushed. Ichika and Miku were surprised. Issei took her hand and put the ring on her. Issei, remember what I said, no matter how many times you lose it, I will always get it back and give it to you. Nino, I didn't ask you to do that. She turned around and smiled. Issei, we've already wasted a lot of time, we must go. Some time later. Itsuki, I am Yotsuba, look at my ribbon. Girl, you look like her but you're not her because you have longer hair. Itsuki/Futaro, it's true. Yotsuba was trying to break free. Futaro, he realized that he was perceptive. Damn it, I'll ask Issei to help me become a better planner. Yotsuba was released. Yotsuba, you don't need that, this once happened, right? We told you that you should pay attention to the details, but now I have to go. I appreciate your concern, but I'm leaving. Futaro, hey wait. With Itsuki. Nino, I'm back, sorry for the inconvenience. Nakano-san. Nino, this was just a joke from Quintuplets. I see it was a joke, but don't joke with something like that. Nino, although it is true that I want to leave the team. Itsuki / huh? Nakano-san, why? Nino, what do you mean, why? You have to be crazy to go on a camp before exams. Yeah. Sometime later. Futaro, guys. They did it and brought Miku. Issei, we arrived on time. Issei was carrying Miku on his back, exhausted. Miku, I didn't do anything. Futaro? Issei, as I said, to believe that you are smart, you are a bit of an idiot. Futaro, 1 2 3 4. Ichika, when I arrived with Issei at the hotel we saw Miku with the scissors, but Issei, we don't know all the details, but I think he's grown up, right Nino? Everything turned out like in the anime, so let's continue. The next day. The girls had taken their exams and they did well. They all passed everything by a hair. They worked hard for the reward that Issei would give them. This time he told them something that motivated them even more. Itsuki, we did it. Yotsuba, although I almost fail everything. Ichika, it doesn't matter, you did it, Yotsuba. This hug to Yotsuba. Miku, Futaro and Issei will be happy. Nino, well, the important thing is the reward that Issei said. Have you thought about what you're going to ask for? Itsuki, I hadn't thought about it yet, I think I'll keep it for when I need it. Ichika, me too. Miku, I want to ask you how things about love. Nino, love? Miku, from what we see, Issei has more experience than us on that subject, so I want him to let me ask all the questions I have. And you, Yotsuba Nino? Yotsuba, mind, I want you to teach me to be a little more selfish. Yotsuba, I want you to train me. All, huh? Yotsuba, you know Issei's body has that kind of body. Despite the amount of food he eats, that body can't be achieved just like that, and the resistance he must have. They all blushed, remembering Issei in the bathroom with the mirror towel. Ichika, well, I must say it's true. Yotsuba, and you, Nino? Nino, don't lump me in with you, I have the best idea for this reward. They were all somewhat intrigued. Yotsuba, and it is? Nino, I'm going to tell him to tell me everything about the person known as Hayato Issei. They were all shocked by what Nino said. They certainly didn't know much about Issei. An example was the time when a man knelt down and begged Issei to be his model. Issei was going to refuse, but he received a call and accepted. Ichika, but you think I accepted? I don't know if that's true. Nino, he said we could ask for anything even if it was irrational. Everyone was shocked. But Itsuki, let me listen with you. Ichika and me. Yotsuba and me. Even Miku wanted. Nino, I love them and everything, but they will have to use their reward for that if they want to know. Ichika, go on, say yes, we'll do whatever please. Nino, if they do something I want I will do it, but will they do it? Miku, what do you want? Nino, let's see Ichika take me to a fancy restaurant. Yotsuba clean my room for 1 week. Miki go out with me when I need you this month. And Itsuki. Itsuki, yes, I will do your homework. Nino, oh no, it's not necessary. I already know what to do. I want you to go on a diet. Itsuki, oh no. Nino, eat less. Itsuki, no. Nino, and that you are at your weight. Itsuki, no. Nino, then you don't listen to your. Itsuki, With Futaro. Futaro, you really are amazing. Issei, I think you would have been a better tutor. Issei, maybe, but you're fine like this. Futaro, even if it's just a little. I'll send you to 5. Issei, what? Futaro, I quit. Issei, wait, how come you gave up? Futaro told him why he quit and what he asked the girls to do. Issei, as I see you are still an idiot, let me tell you something, Futaro. Futaro, huh? Issei, if it weren't for you, I don't think the girls and I would be this close. Your somewhat funny situation made me want to help you, so the girls and I became friends, so you're going to continue teaching. Futaro, but I can't get in anymore. Issei, yes, but to his apartment, not mine. Futaro, Issei. Issei, I told you not to hug me when you cry. Futaro, thanks Issei, really thanks. Issei, lightning. With Nino and the others. Miku, let me pass. Ebita, I can't do that. Young Futaro is not allowed to enter, and his father has a warning for you. He wants you to stay away from Hayato Issei and not speak to him again. When they heard that, they were in total shock. Itsuki, we can't do that, Issei has supported us a lot all this time. Ebita, in fact, Issei-kun had an argument with his father this morning at the hospital. When they heard that Issei argued with his father, they were scared. They knew Issei and he could get along with everyone if he wanted to, but because of his way of being, he wants his friends to be okay. That's why when it came to them, Issei would be very serious. Ebita, I don't know the details of the discussion very well, but that is the message. With Issei, he was in his apartment with Futaro. Issei, well, I'll go find the girls, so relax a little. Futaro, he's really a weird guy. He saw the place where Issei lived. He knew that Issei had money, but the question why he wasn't more selfish. This one went to see Issei's fish. The fish tank was amazing. According to what Issei said, the fish he had were in danger of extinction. That's why the fish tank was very large and very well equipped. Futaro sat down and saw a chess book and a chess set in front of him. Futaro, I didn't expect it. J. With Issei. Issei, that's the situation. I talked to him, but as I said, now the classes will have to be at my house and he won't have a salary this time. Ichika, but will it be okay? Are you going to teach us for free? Issei, I'm sure he will do it, you just have to ask him nicely. Nino, other than that, Issei, is it true that you went to the hospital and fought with Dad? Issei, yeah? All, huh? Silence. All Issei. Issei, wait. They all started chasing Issei. They were upset by that action and were forbidden to see Issei. Current 4th Issei. He was looking at the 2 invitations that Vala and Yuri gave him. One was for him and the other for a companion. Issei had no one to take. Fujiwara was already invited, as were many girls he knew. He could invite one of the girls, but the wedding was in the underworld. Issei, side the wallpaper photo was now a photo of Ichika, Nino, Miku, Itsuki, and Issei. Itsuki and Ichika were hugging Issei's arms and Miku and Nino were petting Issei's head. Issei sigh. When Nino, Ichika, and Itsuki arrived at their room. Nino, Issei, what are you doing? We're all waiting for you. Ichika, what are you holding? Issei, nothing important, huh? This one kept the invitations. Itsuki, are you okay? Issei, if I'm okay, let's go. Ichika and Nino saw what Issei kept, and they got curious. Memory. Issei was eating with Vala and Yuri in a restaurant. They were having a good afternoon. Everything was quiet until Yuri. Issei, I know it may be a little weird for you, but Issei, what's wrong, Yuri? Yuri, would you give me away at the altar like my father? Issei was surprised by what Yuri said. Vala and Yuri looked at Issei with unblinking eyes. They wanted to know the answer. Issei, Yuri, is it a bother? She looked at Issei with puppy eyes. Issei, AAA, don't look at me like that. And you're not worth it either. That looks very gay. Yuri, I see. Issei, I'll do it with pleasure. It just made me uncomfortable how they stared at me. Okay, I'll hand you over to the altar. Present. Itsuki, Issei. Issei, what's wrong? Itsuki, you were distracted and said you would help me with English. Issei, oh yeah, good here. Issei began to say and explain slow words. Nino and Ichika looked at Issei. What could be in those paper things that had him like that? Issei, let's see, say it now. Itsuki, I need you. Issei, you're doing well. Itsuki, let's see, I need a ticket for the train. Issei, very good. Your speech is improving, but your English writing is amazing. Futaro, here the 2 above a number means that you must multiply that number by that same number. Yotsuba, I see then, if like this? Futaro, yes, that's fine. Nino, hey Miku. Some time later. Ichika, hey Issei, how about you and Miku go get a snack? I'm craving some French fries. Issei, huh? Nino, I want some candy too. Issei, Miku, don't you want to go with Futaro? Issei was helping Miku so that she is out with Futaro. Miku, I'm fine going with you, Issei. Issei looked at him seriously for a few seconds and then closed his eyes. Issei, fool. Yotsuba, then bring me some spicy potatoes. Issei, Itsuki? Itsuki, Edo. Then I want some chips. Some cookies. Some chocolate and candy. Issei laughed at what was said this way. Issei, okay, do you want something, Futaro? Futaro, and no, I don't want anything, I didn't bring money. Issei looked at him with cold eyes. Issei, I said if you want something, not if you bring money. Futaro, then. Whatever is fine. Issei sighed. And he left with Miku. They waited a few minutes looking out the window for them to leave when they confirmed that they had left. Itsuki, now. Nino/Ichika, yes. Futaro/Yotsuba, huh? You ran up the stairs. Futaro and Yotsuba followed them. When they arrived, they saw that they were looking at a drawer in Issei's room. Nino, here they are. Futaro, what are they checking? Nino/Ichika/Itsuki, Eto, what is this language? I don't understand it. Futaro, I've never seen anything like that. Well, we're talking about Issei, there are things we don't know about that idiot. Ichika, but the issue is clear, you have to bring a companion. Nino, why do you say that so easily? Ichika, why else would they give you another invitation? Futaro, well, I don't know. For your partner? Ichika, exactly, but Issei doesn't have a partner, that's why he's distressed. Nino, that's true if what you say is true then. Itsuki, are you saying that Issei could invite one of us? Ichika, most likely we are his only friends after all. I don't think he wants to invite any of the girls who left him. Futaro, and how do you know that you are the only friends? Ichika, think about it a little, Futaro-kun. We are the ones he spends the most time with. Nino noticed something like a black notebook on the desk. When he opened it, his face blushed like his ears. Yotsuba, Nino? Yotsuba, surprised face. This one also blushed. Itsuki, so he'll invite me? I already had a date with him. Yotsuba, I don't want to kill your hopes, but... Ichika, a girl. In the photo, the girl was hugging Issei's arm. Itsuki, here's another one. Issei was giving a girl a piggyback ride. Nino. Girl. Futaro, wow, I knew Issei was strong, but... Issei was carrying two girls, one on each shoulder. Ichika, Issei. Itsuki, Issei, you are an idiot. Yotsuba/Futaro. I think we should talk to him. With Issei. Issei, Miku, I did that because I wanted you to go with Futaro and have fun. Miku, I appreciate you doing that, but there is a problem. Issei, problem? Miku, I started liking someone else and I'm in a debate. Issei, I see that's a problem. Miku, if I like both equally, I asked myself what I should do. You were in a situation like that, what do you think I should do? Issei, I think I would choose the one who treated me better. Something you can do is put what you like about each one. Miku, how? Issei, well, I'll give an example with my ex. Miku got a little angry but understood that he did it for her. Issei, we see. Rias, I liked her red hair as well as her kindness and tenderness when she gets angry. Issei, mind, I can't say the rest because I don't want him to see me in a bad light, heh? Issei, and I liked Asia's sweetness and kindness, as did Rias' cooking. When Issei said that, he got sad. Issei, but anyway, look for something like that with the boys you like. Miku, Issei. Issei, yes? Miku, if one of us asked you out, what would you say? Issei, are you kidding me? I'd love to go out with you guys. Miku, and I see. They arrived at the store. Issei took a cart, and they went for the things. Issei, Ichika wanted a potato, and he put it in the cart. Miku, Nino wanted candy, he gave the candy to Issei. Some time later, Issei and Miku were in front of two girls and a fat man. One girl had blue hair, and the other had blonde hair. The man's hands were not visible, and the girls had strange faces. Issei knew what was happening and looked at the man with a murderous look because he saw Miku and licked his lips. Issei's eyes sparkled. Man, ouch. The girls were surprised. Blonde girl, AAA, it would be yen, please. Issei, yes. He gave him the money and they left. When the man recovered, he spoke to the girls. Man, get into position. They got into position when the door opened, something that made them blank. Offrig, gur. He saw the man with murderous eyes. Man, cute kitty. Offrig launched himself at him as the girls screamed. The two watched as Offrig dismembered the man. Offrig turned to look at them, but he left. Issei gave the order to Offrig because he recognized the man. He was a man from the Chaos Brigade, one of the weakest. With Issei. When they arrived, they saw the five watching something. But Itsuki, Nino/Ichika, Issei. Issei, huh? The five of them jumped at Issei and tied him up. Itsuki, you are terrible, Issei. Nino, you are the worst. Ichika, you are too terrible, Issei. Issei, I know that perfectly well, but wait, because I'm being interrogated, or more importantly, how did you see that? When Issei said that, the three of them were somewhat surprised. Ichika, Itsuki-chan went to look for a pencil in your room and saw the album. Issei, now I understand, that was my fault, but why am I being interrogated? Futaro, well, you see how the situation is. Issei, you are dense. Issei, ah? All five attended. Issei, you know I can break free, right? Nino, we won't let you escape. Issei stood up and the ropes fell to the floor. The six of them were scared. When they saw how a red aura was surrounding Issei. Issei, I can forgive many things, but delving into my personal things. Some time later. Everyone looked at Issei with a scared face. Issei continued to give off that murderous aura. Ichika, oh Issei. Issei. Ichika, no, it's nothing. Issei sighed and sat down. Issei, so what do you want to know? Everyone was surprised to see how Issei calmed down so quickly. Issei, it wasn't right of them to do that, but it was my fault for leaving that album in plain sight. Nino, well. Issei, I already know what I want as a reward. Issei, so. What do you want? Nino, tell me your story. Issei. My story? They all nodded at what Issei said. Issei's gaze changed completely, something that surprised them. Issei is not a story I'm proud of, but I'll understand if you decide to stop talking to me. When Issei said that, they got nervous. One story later, the six of them had their eyes wide open and their mouths open. Issei told them everything except the supernatural. Issei, well, now you know the reason for my behavior, now what next? Ichika, I don't know what to say, but you were too terrible. Nino, and you said you were better than me, but you are worse than me. Miku, I have no words for that. Yotsuba, Issei said he was a pervert, a great hero fell to me. Issei, hey. Itsuki, well, what you were before was horrible, but I really like the Issei I know now, so it's okay with me. Issei's eyes were shocked by the words that were said to him. Ichika, but Issei likes breasts, huh? Now I understand why sometimes I felt like he was staring at my breasts. Issei, huh? Nino, I also thought it was my imagination, but I see that it is how it is. Issei, wait a second. Miku, me too, but I felt like it was my legs. Issei, huh? Yotsuba, I didn't feel that gaze. Issei, what do you mean I'm not attractive? Issei, wait, that's not it. Itsuki, it bothers me a little to say that I saw that too. Issei, huh? Itsuki? Itsuki, you are the worst. Issei. Issei fell to his knees on the floor while looking depressed. Issei, did you notice? They all laughed at what Issei said. Ichika, well, I think it's something natural in men because several men besides Futaro also stared at me. Ichika, smiley face. Mika/Yotsuba, so that's how it is? They gave Futaro a murderous look. Ichika, tell me, Issei, do you want me to hug you between my breasts? Itsuki/Nino, Ichika, you can't do that. Issei, is it a prize or a reward? Itsuki/Nino, Issei. Ichika, then come. Issei stood up from the chair and went to her. Issei, thank you very much. Itsuki, you must not. Issei. Nino, that's it. Ichika, you shouldn't tempt men like that. Ichika, what are they saying? Is this as a reward for being honest? She was pulling Issei's head to put it on her breasts. Nino was pulling Issei's arm and Itsuki was pulling Nino. Ichika smiled and released Issei. Issei, wow. Itsuki/Nino, Kia. Issei fell on Itsuki's breasts, while holding Nino's breast. Some time later. Issei, I'm so sorry. Issei was on his knees begging for forgiveness. Itsuki and Nino were angry. Issei, really sorry. The two of them were turning their backs on Issei. One was because they were blushing, another was because they were angry and because their hearts were beating very fast. Miku, she was laughing but she felt upset. Issei, I'm sorry, if you forgive me I'll let you ask for another reward or do something you want. Some time later. Issei was doing push-ups. Issei, 266. Nino and Itsuki told Issei that if he did 500 push-ups they would forgive him. To make it look like he was suffering, Issei put the weight he uses when training, and even with 700 kilos on top, Issei could do 2,000 consecutive push-ups to be able to do the 500 and make it look like he was suffering. Issei put a magic circuit that made him feel the weight of 2 tons. Everyone was in shock, especially Nino and Itsuki. They said it as a joke. They were going to forgive him, but Issei, 289. Itsuki, oh Issei. Issei, 290. Nino, hey Issei. Issei, 291,292,293. Ichika, Issei, really? Some time later. 498. There was a small puddle of sweat. Issei was all sweaty from his body and forehead, and his shirt was all sweaty. Issei fell to the floor. Itsuki and Nino panicked. Issei tried to get up but Nino and Itsuki stopped him. Nino, okay, leave it like that, we forgive you but stop. Itsuki, yes, Issei is enough. Issei turned around and began to breathe heavily. The five of them looked worried. After a while he got up. Issei bowed his head again and asked for forgiveness. Nino/Itsuki, it's okay, we forgive you now. Issei, it's disgusting that I left this shirt all sweaty. Issei took off his shirt. Ichika uwu. Nino oh. Miku, surprised face. Yotsuba shocked. Itsuki uwu. Issei, I think I'm going to take a shower. When I hear a camera sound. Ichika hid his phone. Issei saw that with cold eyes. Issei, listen, now that I think about it, there's actually someone I want you to meet. Itsuki, anyone you want us to meet? Issei, my parents. All Q. Chapter 11. Part 1 quotes. Futaro was explaining chemistry to the girls but noticed that Ichika, Nino, Itsuki and a little Miku were rolling their eyes at Issei's bathroom door. After all the 498 push-ups that Issei did and taking off his shirt to go take a bath made the girls drool. Futaro, let's see Nino, tell me which element of the periodic table is Na. Nino, Edo M. That's the sodium obviously. Futaro, I see. The door was heard opening. Issei. AAA, that was refreshing. The three of them expected to see Issei in a towel. Issei, seriously, you thought I was going to go out in a towel. I'm sorry, but I always have a change of clothes in the bathroom. Issei sighed as he watched the girls continue studying and applauded. Issei, I know you want to keep learning, but sometimes a little rest is necessary, so for today you will leave the study. Futaro, oh my. Issei, Futaro, I admit that studying is important, but it is useless if in the long run it becomes boring. So for now we can do three things. We can watch a movie, go out to dinner, something. Sometime later. Everyone was watching a scary movie. Itsuki, who was the most scared, was watching the movie hugging Issei's arm. Nino, seeing that, was also hugging Issei Futaro's arm and was next to Yotsuba and Miku. Easier order sitting down. Nino, Issei, Itsuki, Ichika, Yotsuba, Futaro, Miku. Itsuki sees a scene where the girl's face appears. Her gaze is hidden by Issei's arm. Issei smiled and brought his hand closer to Itsuki's to take something that made her blush. Issei smiled at him, and he felt Nino also take his hand and squeeze it. Issei blushed. Some time later. Nino and Itsuki were on the rooftop facing each other. Itsuki, tell me kid, what do you think of Issei? Nino, what do I think? Itsuki, do you like it? Nino was surprised by Itsuki's serious face. Itsuki, because if you like it I'm not going to give it to you. Nino, don't tell me. Itsuki, yes, I like Issei, no, better said I love Issei. Nino, what do you mean Itsuki, didn't you say that you didn't want to go out with any boy? Because you thought that each one wasn't worth it because of how men thought. Itsuki, yes, that's what I thought, but... Nino, but... Itsuki, after meeting him I know that I love him and I don't plan on giving him to anyone. Nino, hey. Itsuki, well, I feel better for having told you this, so tomorrow no, the next time we are alone I will tell him how I feel about him. Itsuki was about to leave but... Nino, I like it. Itsuki, huh? Nino, I like it, I like Issei. And I must say the same. I don't plan on giving it to anyone, even if you're my sister. Itsuki was surprised by what Nino said. Nino liked delinquents the most. Itsuki, but Nino, how is that? Issei? It has nothing to do with your tastes. Nino, it's true, but I don't care if he appeared, I'm not sure, but for a long time my heart has been beating like crazy when I'm with him, and I can't take my eyes off him, and when someone approaches him I want to take his hand and take him somewhere else where he only looks at me, so be careful because now that I know what you feel and you know what I feel. When I'm alone with him I'm going to tell him what I feel, and if that's not enough I'm going to hug him with all my strength. No, that's not enough, I'm going to kiss him. Itsuki, Ichika was listening by the window. He smiled and walked away. Some time later. Itsuki/Nino, Issei go on a date with me tomorrow. Everyone was surprised. Issei, huh? Itsuki, we're going to have dinner tomorrow night. Nino, let's go to the cinema to watch a love movie. Issei, oh. Miku, what's wrong with you two? Futaro, girls, calm down a bit. Nino / Itsuki, shut up. Itsuki, and well, Issei. Nino, the obvious answer is me, right? Yotsuba, Edo, I already. The two ignored Yotsuba. Issei, I'm sorry, Yotsuba already asked me to help her tomorrow with something. Nino / Itsuki. The next day afternoon. The five of them were following Issei and Yotsuba wearing terrible costumes. Itsuki, I understand that Yotsuba wants to learn to say no, but why does she need to wear those clothes? Issei and Yotsuba went to get dressed. Yotsuba was wearing a green dress that clung to her body, also with Ichika to ask her for a hexy lingerie. Which is why Yotsuba walked nervously. Issei, okay, now I need you to take off the bar. Yotsuba, huh? Issei, I wouldn't want to do this, but as I see how you are, I need you to do what I say. Yotsuba gave the ribbon to Issei. Issei, good luck. This one started to walk away. Yotsuba, huh? Issei started walking. Yotsuba, wait, you didn't tell me what to do. Issei, just say no. Yotsuba, wait. But. Boy 1-chan, are you alone? Yotsuba, I. Boy 2, come on, come with us and have some fun. I just got paid. Yotsuba, Edo. Chico, what are you saying? Nothing's wrong, your boyfriend left you. Boy 2, don't worry, we will help you. When Yotsuba heard that they would help her, she thought that she would teach her to say no. Some time later, Yotsuba was completely nervous and was in front of a hotel. The boys took her to several places and to eat a little. Chico too, come on, nothing is going to happen, it will be fun. A boy took her by the waist. The five of them saw what the boys wanted to do to Yotsuba. They were upset about what Issei was thinking about leaving Yotsuba alone in those clothes. Nino, I can't watch this anymore. But. Yotsuba, no. Boys, huh? Yotsuba, I don't want to go in there. Guys, come on, don't be like that. Yotsuba, I said no. Nino and the girls were shocked by what Yotsuba said. Yotsuba, get out of my sight. I don't want to go in with you. I don't want to hear from you again, and I don't want you to come near me. When out of nowhere Drake came out of his Yotsuba bag and launched himself at both boys, scratching their faces. Boy, you. The five were going to help Yotsuba, but Issei, enough. The boys were surprised when they saw Issei and walked away from Yotsuba. Issei approached Yotsuba and stood in front of her. Boy, hey, that attack wasn't in the contract. When the six heard that, they were surprised. Issei, and I didn't tell them not to touch her either. They're lucky I paid them instead of beating them up. Issei's eyes glowed green. Ichika, who managed to see, was surprised and the boys ran away. Issei sighed. Time lapse. Yotsuba, I was so scared that you hired those guys. Issei, I know you are patient, kind, and a little naive. So I thought about what was the best way to teach you to say no, and well, I couldn't think of anything else. Yotsuba, you are terrible. Issei, yes, a little bit. Well, did you understand what I wanted to teach you? Yotsuba, huh? That was a lesson? Issei, yes. Yotsuba's face was in shock. The five of them were listening while eating. To cover up. Issei, I don't think I should be nice, so I'll say it as it is. Yotsuba, the truth is the reason I decided on this type of plan is because just like those guys, there are people like that and worse people. If you don't tell them clearly what you don't like or what you don't want, they will drag you until you can't take it anymore. Yotsuba, that was a hard blow. Nino and Itsuki were going to go tell Issei something. Issei, but of course I won't let that happen. Yotsuba, huh? Issei stood up and took out the Yotsuba ribbon to start putting it up. Yotsuba, huh? Issei, whenever someone wants to abuse you, no matter who it is, ask me for help and I will go help you. This term of putting the bow on Yatsuba. This one turned red. Issei, well, let's all go home. When Issei said that, he went to the girls. Issei, what are you doing? All, we've been discovered. End of Part 1. Part 2, Books and Advice. Manager Ichika, how to make a guy fall in love with you. Hey Ichika, you're such a fool. Any guy would fall in love with you. Come on, who's that fool? Ichika, it's Issei. Manager Ichika, oh, that's where things change. Ichika, you said I could make anyone fall in love with me. Manager Ichika, yes, but we are talking about a person who has the connections to get one of the biggest investors in the film industry to help him. Ichika, true. Girl, well, I don't think it's a problem for you, Ichika-chan. She hugged Ichika from behind and began to caress her breasts. Ichika, hey. Girl, with this you can't lose Ichika, oh hey, stop. Girl, did they grow back? Ichika, let me go. Some time later. The three of them were having coffee alone in a cafe. Ichika, so what do you advise me? Manager Ichika, just tell him what you feel, I don't think so. Girl, let's see your silence, let the expert take care of it. Take note, cute Ichika. Ichika, then what do I do? Girl, shut up and listen. Ichika, yes. Girl, listen, Ichika, boys are useless people, they're going to damage everything from your self-esteem to the apartment's plumbing if they move in. Ichika, Eto, but Issei knows about plumbing. Memory. Issei, Itsuki, Nino is ready, let's see if you can try it. Nino, the garbage disposal is already working. But now hot water comes out. Issei, here's the problem, try it now. Itsuki, it's over, Issei. Issei, Ichika, stop me that piece. Ichika passed him the piece that Issei asked for. Present. After saying that, Ichika. The girls started saying many things, but Ichika kept saying that Issei could do that. Girl, could you show me what it looks like? Ichika. She took out her phone and showed Issei's photo. The girl turned red and her eyes widened. Issei was not handsome, but he was not ugly either, and with all the previous points and his physique, he was a fine to be a couple. The girl took out 2 books and gave them to Ichika. Ichika read the titles and turned red. Ichika, How to Make the Love of Your Life Fall in Love with You, Seduction, and Tips on How to Make a Friend You Like Fall in Love with You. With Nino. Friend, even if you don't say it like that. If we don't know who you like, we won't know what advice to give you. Nino, what would you do if the boy you liked other girls? Friend, let me see, if it weren't for the fact that there are others, I would declare myself on the 1st of the year or on February 14th. Nino, I can't wait that long, you? Friend 2, what if you declare your love to her today? That way, if she rejects you, you can find someone else? Nino, I don't want him to reject me. Friend, there is a bookstore there, maybe there is something there. See bookstore. Nino, here are these 4. How to attract a boy's attention. What to do to make someone fall in love with you. Friend, I like this one better, how to know if he is the right one and what to do. Friend, don't be. Nino took the 4 books. With Mika. She was in a museum with Issei, they were looking at things about history. Miku, Issei, it's amazing, isn't it? Miku, if it's very big, Issei. Issei, this is going to be long, do you want to rest? Miku, let's not continue. Issei and Miku went to see a painting called The Lovers. Issei, let's see, the prince fell in love with a country girl who came to work at his grandparents' house. He was there that day, the day he saw her in a red sunset, he fell in love when he saw that girl. Miku, it says here that lovers who see this painting will be united forever. Issei, a nice story, I guess. Miku and Issei continued to look at the museum while discussing their strategy to date Futaro. Issei took a light sip from his water bottle. Issei, well, do you have a plan? Miku, no. Issei laughed seeing Miku so depressed and patted her on the head. Issei, it's okay that you don't have a plan. But remember this, Miku, time is unforgiving. If time continues like this and you don't do what you want, you'll regret it, and you'll be angry with yourself. So I think I have a solution. Miku, huh? Sometime later. Miku mind, why is this happening? She was with Futaro in a library. They were reading books. This was Issei's plan. He called Futaro and asked him where he was, to which he said that he was eating with Itsuki and Yatsuba, but that you are talking to someone. Miku, Issei idiot. Issei smiled and was about to leave, but a call made his face turn serious. Issei, yes, okay, yes, very well, I'll go right now. Issei's serious look turned into a sad one. With Yatsuba and Itsuki. These were buying underwear and swimsuits. Itsuki and Yatsuba had circles around their eyes because of the clothes a worker there gave them. Itsuki, isn't this too much? Worker, I assure you that with those clothes your lovers will not be able to refuse your charms. Yatsuba, when Ichika lent me the one I asked for, I didn't think I would look for this type of clothing again, but... Would you like a photo of the boy you like? Itsuki gave the photo of Issei, and Yatsuba gave the photo of Futaro. Time after. Yatsuba and Ichika arrived at their house with a big bag. They came with their faces completely red and bought several lingerie juices in exchange for the workers' advice. Nino, oh, they arrived, what did they have there? Itsuki, I'll go wash clothes. Yatsuba, I'm going to sleep. A while. The next morning. Itsuki was in his room looking in the mirror. At the set of clothes he bought. Itsuki, will this really work? Meant Itsuki, if you are caught with this type of clothing, I assure you that you will fall. Itsuki sighed and gathered his courage. She wore very loose clothing so that the outfit would go unnoticed. Miku, oh good morning. Itsuki, good morning. Miku, what's wrong? Where are you going? Itsuki, Edo Issei didn't come back yesterday, right? I'm going to feed his fish. Miku, oh I see. Itsuki went to the apartment. When he entered the entrance, he began to take off his clothes and entered quietly, but there he saw Ichika and Nino fighting, but the most important thing was their clothes. Equally provocative. Itsuki, what are you two doing? The three of them looked surprised. Nino, I told you I wouldn't let you encourage me, that's why I did this too, but I understand you, but I understand Ichika. Ichika, girls, do you like Issei? Itsuki/Nino, a lot. Ichika, me too. The two were surprised. Hearing that. Ichika, heh, it's kind of funny that we have the same interest even though we're 20% of a person. But hey, I have a proposal. Some time later. The three of them made it clear that Issei must be the one to confess. No confession unless a kiss has happened first, and it can't be given by them. It was to keep the war in peace and because they would soon go to Issei's house. Nino, Itsuki, and Ichika looked at their clothes each in their room. With Issei. He arrived at his apartment covered in blood and with his clothes torn. Issei, sometimes I hate my life. Drake, come on, it wasn't that bad. Issei, it wasn't that bad? Triaxa broke my face with 50% of her power. Issei went to the place of the Triaxa seal and managed to send a clone of him with 50% of his power. Issei was paying because they would guard the place. They informed him that Triaxa wanted to fight him. When he arrived, everyone was on the floor. He fought with Triaxa, but he broke Issei's face. Issei, damn, if I don't get this stupid effect to happen, the next fight will be the same for me. I remember after the fight. Issei left Triaxa very injured. He had the fight won. He went down to launch an attack with all his power to Triaxa, who was in her dragon form, but the armor disappeared. Issei, D-Drag? Drag, oh, his bucking mother was worth shit. Issei, oh no. He turned up and saw Triaxa's face, upset but happy. He raised his paw. Drake came out of the sacred gear and flew away. Drake, run, mate! Issei, hey! Triaxa crushed Issei. Issei, AAA my rib. Triaxa crushed Issei again. Issei, I can't feel my legs. Traitor now throws fire from his mouth. Issei, AAA. Traitor crushed Issei with her paw again. Issei. Traitor began to crush and throw fire at Issei, who disappeared. Drake approached Issei. Drake, oh, they broke it, buddy. Issei, you'll see later. Present. Issei, I'm fed up. I'm going to sleep and heal my wounds. Drake, yes, leave it to me. Issei lay down on the couch the next afternoon. Issei opened his eyes and saw that he was in his bed. He turned around and saw that Itsuki, Nino, Ichika, and Miku were sleeping next to him with their heads at the sides of the bed. Issei, what the hell? He sat up and saw that Futaro was asleep next to Yotsuba on the wall. Issei stayed by my side? Drake, well, you're also going too far, buddy. You fall asleep covered in blood and with your clothes torn. What did you expect? Nino was the first to wake up because of Issei's movements. When she saw him, she hugged him and started looking at Issei. Nino, Issei. What happened to you? Are you okay? You don't have a fever? Do you know who I am? She continued watching Issei. Because of the commotion, the others woke up and began to look at Issei and question him. Some time later. Futaro, I see, so it was like that. Issei, yes, I only fought with 5 guys. Because I was harassing a girl. Futaro, and you say it so calmly. Itsuki, Nino, and Ichika had cold gazes. Issei, but I'm fine, it was just that. Nino, didn't we scare you like that and the girl was pretty? Issei, well. Itsuki, did they do something? Issei, and I wouldn't say that. Ichika, do you like me? Issei, no, it's not just that. Ichika, Itsuki / Nino, alone? Issei, it's nothing. Time lapse. Summary. Ichika, Nino, and Itsuki were giving hints to Issei and going on separate dates. Mika and Issei were thinking of a plan and they already had one. Yotsuba told Issei that she was Rina. Issei went to the girl's mother upon seeing the father, and they had a conversation. Futaro asked Issei to train him, but he gave up after 2 months. Issei also increased his training to be able to have a chance with Traitor. Present. Issei was driving while everyone was talking to each other. Reiha, Issei Oni-chan, why did you come to this city? When Reiha said that, the whole place fell silent. Issei, well, I wanted to clear my head and calm down, and I'm fine. Reiha, are you happy now? Issei, yes, I'm happy now. Itsuki, who was next to Issei, approached his hand and took Issei's. Issei smiled at her and tightened his gesture. But Nino, AAA, look there. She put her arms around Issei's neck. Issei, hey, calm down, wait. Ichika, Itsuki-chan, will you change my place later? Itsuki, huh? Issei continued driving until they reached Ko and stopped. Issei, well, I'm sorry, but put this on. Issei gave them some blindfolds. Nino, and this. Issei, I want to give them a surprise. So I need them to put them on. Everyone put on their blindfolds. Issei, now don't take them off until you arrive. Nino, Issei, why did you give us this? What a surprise. Issei, you'll see. Nino, meeting you will be something very strange. Issei, it could be. Itsuki, tell me, Issei, what do your parents do for a living? Issei, my father is an office worker and my mother is now home alone. They arrived at the house and Issei helped them down. Issei sighed. Issei, well, listen carefully, no matter what you see, you can't stop treating me like this, and if you do, I'll be sad, so well, take off the bandages. When the bandages were removed, they were in shock. Issei, well, welcome to my house. The 7 were left completely speechless and without reaction. End of progress. Mother, they really are quintuplets. Father, please continue taking care of Issei. Issei, come on, don't bother them anymore. Grayfield, we need you at the meeting, Issei-sama. Issei, I already have a plan, don't worry. Mother, I would like you to become one, my daughter, not better each one. Rias, you guys don't compare to us. When Issei comes back he'll be mine. Itsuki, I must thank you. Thanks to you Issei can be mine rather. Nino, even if Issei only liked breasts, he would choose us over you. Mother, I can see that 3 of them here like my son. Itsuki, Nino, Ichika, and Mika blushed. Reiha, I already decided. Futaro, Reiha? Reiha, when I grow up I will marry Issei and Ai-chan. Issei sighed, stumbled and fell on top of Itsuki. Ichika, I like you Issei. Issei, calm down Nino. Nino kisses Issei. Chapter 12. Uncomfortable Pair 1. Maid/servants/Graphia. Welcome back home Issei-sama. There were about 5 male servants and 15 female servants. Issei, I'm back and my parents? Graphia, they are in the living room with their brother. Issei, I see. It's unusual to see you here. Is something wrong? Graphia, yes, Serzex-sama and the others are waiting for you in the office. Issei, I see, I'll go with them in a while. I'll go with my parents first. Come on, guys. Graphia and the others bowed. They followed Issei, who walked calmly. Ichika, what the hell does this mean? Nino, I don't know, this house is too big and imposing, I thought we lived in the same worlds but… Ichika, yeah, he's out of our league. Futaro approached at 2. Futaro, didn't you hear Issei? Nino, huh? Futaro, no matter what we see, we should still treat him for who he is. I imagine this is what his family meant about being swimming in money. Nino meant, if it's true this doesn't change Issei, he's still the boy I like. With Itsuki. Itsuki, amazing. Yatsuba, now I understand many things. Miku, how many meters will this house be? About 20 by 20. Itsuki, are you playing? I would say it would be 100 by 100. Voice Issei, mind Itsuki. Issei, no matter what you see, don't treat me differently. If you do, I will feel sad. Itsuki, it's easy to say. Parents, oh wow, welcome Issei. Mother, oh. She gave the baby to her husband and went straight to the girls. Mom, it's true when you told me I didn't believe it, but if they are quintuplets I'm so proud. The girls were shocked by what Issei's mother said. Mother, you brought 5 suitors. Issei, AAA. Itsuki, Nino, and Ichika's heart raced, and they became nervous. Father, Issei, not even I am allowed to do that, I am proud. The 2 were shedding tears. After the breakup with the girls they thought that Issei would never bring any girl again, but… Nino, what is this? Issei, my family? Some time later. The girls are formed in the order in which they were born. Mother, very well, clever with this, you shouldn't confuse them. Ichika, I don't think it's that easy. Mother, no, if I was wrong I will do this again until I can recognize them. I must not confuse my future daughter-in-law, and if this is a pass for her to try to conquer my son. The girls were surprised and nervous. Issei, Mom, you're making the girls uncomfortable. Mother, am I wrong? From the way you talked about them I'd say you like at least 2 or 3 of them. Issei. The girls looked at Issei in surprise. Issei, anyway, don't bother them too much. The girls laughed at how Issei lectured their mother. Issei, well, this is going to be long, girls, I have to attend to something. Girls, huh? Issei, when they finish, show them what they need, Graphia. Graphia, yes, Issei-sama. Issei left from there. Mother, okay girls, I'll show you the place, let's go. Issei and Hatsune left together, the girls felt uncomfortable seeing that. She turned around and gave all 5 of them a smile. Mother, well, I'll show you the place like I said, girls. Ichika Eto. Mother, you can call me mother, my dear. But first, what do you like the most? Ichika, relax and sleep. Nino, fashion and cooking. Miku, the story of cooking and silence. Yatsuba, sports. Itsuki, eat and study. Futaro, I like to study only. The mother laughed at what they said. Ichika, is something wrong, mother? Mother, no, nothing is wrong, it's just that Issei knows everything about you. The girls and Futaro were following Issei and Graphia's mother. They were shown the normal things around the house and their rooms. Mother, and what does your father decide? Nino, he is the boss at his hospital. He is very serious, and that is why he only comes to sleep. Mother, I see, it's a shame. But maybe he's hiding something, don't you think? Itsuki, with how serious he is, I don't think that's it. Department of the Quintuplets. The room looks empty, but out of nowhere some voices were heard. Rina, no wait, don't be so AAA. Don't be so rude. Maruo, don't ask me that, I've been waiting for this for years. Rina, I know but Maruo, thanks Issei-kun for taking the girls. Rina, hey. With Issei. Zeus, from what I see of your reaction to Triax's small leak, you have a plan, right? Issei, yes, I've had it for a few months now. Hades, how come for a few months now? Issei, for a long time I had a dream where I left my friends to have to fight Triaxa with you in the seal. To avoid that future I began to make several plans. SrabrazosxD, do you have many? Issei, I will tell you the ones I made based on our army forces, the rest will depend on my valid Gaspar Kiba and the strength of the soldiers. Asazilha? Issei, and with this I hope for a long vacation. Ares, but aren't you supposed to be the pillar of the alliance? Issei, and just as you say, I am, but I can't always be saving them. The way I see things going, I should only be used for bigger threats. Shiva, I see that since you became the fourth strongest existence you have become somewhat arrogant. Issei, being in that position should give me a few rights, right? Miguel, okay, let's calm down. Issei, well, I'll tell you my plan. End. Part 2, A Bitter Reality. With the quintessential quintuplets. Graphia, Issei-sama told us more or less how your rooms are. We hope that you like them. You can choose whatever you want according to your taste. They are the smallest rooms. Graphia, this is your room, Futaro-kun. Futaro, thank you. Each one opened the door of their room to leave their things, but Futaro, what the hell? Nino, Edo said that these were the smallest ones, right? Mother, that's right. Yatsuba, who has the biggest room? Graphia, that's obvious, it's Issei-sama. The girl's eyes opened wide. Mother, although she changes rooms due to some problems. Itsuki, problems? Graphia, it's nothing, come on, follow me. Graphia and Issei's mom showed them around the house all morning and it was already time to eat. Ichika, hey mother. Mother, tell me dear? Ichika, there's a no trespassing sign there. Why? Mother, oh, there are many of Issei's pets there, and while currently only Issei can enter and leave there alive. When the girls heard that, their blood ran cold. Mother, although considering that animals have a sixth sense, I would say that as soon as they saw that you are one of the people that Issei loves the most, I think they would even play with you. The girls blushed when Issei's mother said that. Futaro, Eto and I, so I'm in danger here, right? Mother, good question, but I'm sorry I don't have an answer. Well, let's leave this here, let's eat. With Issei. Issei, as you just read, those are the plans I have. Shiva, why am I in the lead in everything? Issei, that's obvious, isn't it? It's true that I defeated him, but that was because of a mistake I could have made. If I hadn't done it, you would have won, and I'm sure people think that way too. Shiva, I see. Miguel, well, it's certainly a well thought out plan. Issei, well, if that's all, I have to attend to my guests. Zeus, in fact, that's not all. Issei, we need you to join the alliance. Memory. Issei and Shiva are seen face to face. Both had their bodies filled with blood and wounds. They have been fighting for 3 hours with all their power, and now they were only hitting with what they could. Shiva hugged Issei and slammed him against the floor. Issei was just recovering and felt everything spinning. Shiba hugged him again and threw him back. Issei fell on his back and rolled. Issei, ouch. Issei stood up. Shiba was going to hit him, but Issei quickly lifted him between his shoulders and let him fall to the floor. Issei managed to get up from the floor while holding his arm, and the audience began to count. Posted 7, 8, 9. Shiba managed to grab onto the magic barrier. Issei gritted his teeth and made a spear and pierced the magic barrier with Shiba's body. It was the biggest event in the supernatural world. At the moment. Issei, what's up with this situation? A very strange aura was felt. Yotsuba, Futaro, and Mika were sitting together, but Ichika, Nino, and Itsuki were 2 seats apart from each other. And Issei could only sit in one of those seats. The 3 of them looked at each other with a cold look. Who would Issei sit with? Issei, let's see Marin Fadfinger. SrabrazosxD. I chose the order based on how they were born. Version sitting next to Ichika. Issei, huh? Itsuki pouted and Nino. Nino, what are you looking at? I don't care that you sat next to Ichika. Issei, yes. Wow. Ichika brought a fork to Issei. Ichika, let's go Issei-kun da. Issei, but... Ichika, you don't want to? Puppy eyes. Issei. Ichika gave a smile to Issei. Grafia gave Issei his food and they started eating. Sitting next to Nino. She smiled at Issei. Nino, hello? Issei, hello? Nino hugged Issei's arm, putting his head on his shoulder and pressing his chest against Issei's arm. Issei turned to see Nino and could see her breasts. Issei looked away. Nino, Issei, you weren't with us and I wanted you to show me your house. Issei, I'm sorry but I had a little work. Nino, I see. Issei, huh? Itsuki was giving Issei a sad look. Issei, oh. Ichika was talking to Issei's mom. But she was clenching her napkin. Issei, Edo. Nino, have Issei. Issei, huh? Nino, let's go say. Issei. After eating the meat that Nino gave him. Nino, AAA Issei, you got covered in sauce. Issei, I'll clean it when they bring a napkin. Nino, you can't. You must maintain a good appearance. This is clean sauce from Issei's mouth. Issei blushed. Ichika mind, AA is really in love. Sitting next to Itsuki. Issei, hello Itsuki. Itsuki, hi Issei, hey, why weren't you with us? Issei, I had a meeting with someone. Itsuki, hey, for someone our age, you have that kind of responsibility? Issei, well, yes, a little. Ichika and Nino were talking to Issei's mother. Futaro and the others were talking quietly. Itsuki mind, come on Itsuki, think of something to make your relationship with Issei stronger. She started thinking quickly when a noise was heard from Issei's stomach. Issei, hee. Ichika, are you hungry now, Issei? Do you want me to give you some of mine? Issei, I don't think so. Nino, or do you want mine? Issei, Edo. When out of nowhere, a fork with meat and vegetables approached Issei. Itsuki, say. Issei, what is it? Nino and Ichika were surprised to see Itsuki make such a move. Itsuki, what are you waiting for? Don't leave me with your hand like that. Issei, AAA. Itsuki mind, I did it. Itsuki, how is it delicious? Issei, yes, I would say quite a lot. Itsuki, I see, she brought the fork to her mouth after putting more food in it. This one turned red like a tomato. Everyone finished eating and went to change into their rooms to meet in the living room for a while. Reiha and Futaro talking quietly with the girls. When? Maid, here you go, Issei-sama will be down in a few minutes. If you need anything, please press the button. And someone will come. This one is gone. Nino, what the hell does this mean? Itsuki, I knew Issei was a different person, but. Memory. Mother, huh? We didn't do any of this. A few years ago we lived in a smaller house. Ichika, but what about this mansion? Father, it was thanks to Issei actually Futaro, Issei has been working for years. Mother, I see that Issei hasn't really told you much, so we'll leave it here. Present. Futaro, well, either way, Issei is still Issei, right? They all nodded their heads. Futaro took a small handful of popcorn and put it in his mouth. Reiha looked from one side of the house to the other, but. Reiha, I've decided. They all turned to look at Reiha. Futaro, what did you decide, Reiha? He and the girls took a light sip of their drinks when. Reiha, when I grow up I will become a beautiful woman and marry Issei Oni-chan. Issei, hello? This greeting with a smile, but. The four of them spit the drink in Issei's face. And Futaro and Yotsuba almost choked on that. When the four of them realized, they panicked. Issei. He started sucking his teeth. The four of them thought that Issei would get angry, but. Issei, does this count as an indirect kiss with all four? And then burst out laughing. The four of them saw that this was the Issei they knew and relaxed. Issei, well, I think I'll go change, hee. This one left. Issei's mother arrived at that moment. Mother, what are they doing now? Futaro, we're talking about Issei now, Mother, what are you talking about, my son? Ichika, it's because of what we talked about before. He lied so I wouldn't know. Issei's mother sighed. Mother, I know you're curious, but don't overwhelm Issei with so many questions. I'm sure that if Issei loves you as much as I see, he'll tell you at some point. When she said that Issei loves them very much, the five of them blushed. Reiha, Okasama. Mother, what's wrong, Reiha-chan? Reiha, please allow me to marry Issei Oni-chan. Oh, what? Reiha looked at Issei's mother with puppy eyes and determined eyes at the same time. Mother, hee, you are very adorable, but I can't. Reiha, huh? Mother, although I would like to tell you that it is also Issei's decision, and he is almost twice your age. Reiha, that's why I'll marry him when I grow up. Mother, well, if that's the case, I'll do my best to support you. When he said that, the others got nervous. Ichika, Nino, Itsuki felt strange. They imagined Issei and an adult Reiha in a wedding dress. But Issei's mother winked at them. Reiha saw Issei's brother. He looked at him, laughed, and crawled away. Reiha, wait. This was after the. Mother, hey Futaro-kun, can you go to the kitchen for something I left on the stove? Futaro, sure. Miku, I'll go with you. Yotsuba, no. It is necessary, I will go, Mika. Miku, but. Yotsuba, nothing happens. When they went to the kitchen, she laughed. Mother, okay, now here's the thing. As I see things, at least two of you like my son. The girls were shocked to hear Issei's mother's statement. Nino, that's not true, Issei is just our friend. This was read. Issei's mother gave a mischievous smile. Mother, that's why I said two of you. Itsuki, and how do you know that? Mother, I was young too, I'll tell you that the body says more than 1,000 words. The feeling of looking for Issei in every place that showed you. The eyes when one of the servants said Issei-sama. It was very obvious. And dinner. I think that if we hadn't been there and Issei had left, you would have done something. Miku, a something? Mother, something like an indirect kiss between you with Issei's spoon. When she said that, all four of them blushed. Itsuki, that's very immoral, I couldn't do something like that. Itsuki said that, but he didn't know if he could really. Mother, yes, it may be true. I will tell you this. To make Issei fall in love with you, you should not attack the stomach, that would work with another boy. But with Issei it is something different now. For Issei, attack the brain, the heart, and the thing that never fails with any boy, attack his hormones. Girls, hi. Mother, but be very careful, don't incite him too much because bad things could happen. Miku, bad things? Mother, do you think what would happen? Silence. Ichika imagined Issei on top of her in bed. Ichika mind. Issei, Ichika. Issei caressed his cheek to kiss Ichika's neck. Ichika kia. Child mind. Issei, I won't let you go, Nino. He cornered her against the wall. Nino, no, Issei, you can't. She looked away. Issei took the child's face. Issei, just look at my Nino. Nino, Issei. This kiss to Issei. Itsuki mind. Issei, Itsuki. Itsuki, wait, Issei, we're not here yet. This is my arm to kiss her. Reality. The three of them sighed and fell to their knees. Miku was surprised. Ichika and Nino were drooling and Itsuki was super red. Issei, hello mom. The girls screamed in surprise and jumped, but Futaro and Yatsuba were heard. Yatsuba, let me help. Futaro, no, I'll take care of it. You're already carrying too much. Everyone turned around. Futaro, hey girls, hey. They were fighting over the sauce on the plate. When the sauce flew out while fighting, the sauce was going towards Itsuki and Nino. The sauce was going to fall on them, but Issei made them to the sides, but the sauce fell on him. Issei. Some time later, Futaro and Yatsuba had a bump on their heads. Issei sighed and scolded them. Issei, it's my fault for not getting out of here, but it's not right to do that either. Now I'm bathing in sauce. Miku, Ichika, Nino, and Itsuki were eating chips with sauce that fell on Issei. But before that, they removed sauce from Issei's cheek with their debo. Issei, well, now to bathe, choose a movie. This one was about to leave, but Itsuki, wait, Issei. Issei turned around and Itsuki grabbed some sauce that was on Issei's shoulder, and then gave him a smile. Issei. Issei smiled, scared at Itsuki. Itsuki, you're doing. Issei was squeezing Itsuki's little cheeks. Itsuki, it hurts, say Issei. Issei stopped pulling Itsuki's cheeks and caressed them to turn around, but in front of him was Ichika with her cheeks forward. Ichika, me too. Issei, huh? Some time later. Issei had gone to take a bath, but before Nino and Ichika made him touch their cheeks. Elsewhere. Futaro saw how the three were happy. Ichika, Itsuki, and Nino were happy. Before Issei left, he caressed their cheeks. Futaro, very well, when Issei returns he will choose a role. When he saw that Itsuki, Nino, and Ichika were staring into space, Futaro started to speak, but they didn't pay attention until he screamed. The three reacted. Futaro, well, as I said, until Issei returns we must think about what to do. While now you have chosen, if I'm not mistaken. Ichika / Nino, a love movie. Miku, one of history. Futaro, as I said, we should watch a movie that talks about physics. Yatsuba, I say an animated movie. Everyone started arguing. Ichika mind Issei was taking too long. Ichika began to get up quietly so that no one would notice. End. Part 3. Issei came out of the bathroom with a white towel around his waist. And someone knocked on the door. Mother, Issei. Issei, huh? Mother, Issei, respect your privacy by knocking on the door, but I reaffirm my authority as a mother by entering anyway. Issei, and Mama, wait, I'm not visible. An ice spell broke the door. Issei P, why are you here? Mother, I came to talk to you about those girls. Grafia was behind her. Issei, first of all. He snapped his fingers and fixed the door. Mother, listen, Issei, I've never seen you so happy, so I don't care what you have to do, but you even have to hunt down the 5 of them. But you better not make them cry. Issei, huh? Mother, nothing. If you make them cry, I'll hit you hard. Do you understand? Issei, yes. Some time later. Issei was in white shorts with black. Issei threw the clothes he had taken off before going to shower into the bin. Grafia appeared behind him. Grafia, Issei-sama. Issei, aaa. Grafia, what's wrong? Issei, you scare me out of nowhere as if it were your room. I thought you went with my mom. Grafia, please forgive me. I need to take the laundry basket to wash it. Issei, no need to wash it, I'll wash it tomorrow. Grafia, I can't allow that. SrabrazosxD asked me to help him as much as possible in finishing his mission. Issei, that guy really wants to keep an eye on me. Issei, listen Grafia. Issei turned around. Grafia was surprised by Issei's physique and turned around. Issei, listen, you see that the girls and Futaro don't need anything and that's it? Grafia, but Issei-sama. Issei, no buts. Issei raised his power, making Grafia scared. Grafia, excuse my intrusion. Issei sighed and Grafia left from there. He thought about everything that happened this day. Issei, what the hell did I do to deserve this? When out of nowhere they knocked. Issei, yes, I told you to take care of something else, Grafia, and not to bother me. He opened the door halfway so that Grafia couldn't get in. Miku, I'm not Grafia. Issei, oh what's wrong Miku? Miku, can I come in? Issei, yes, give me a moment. Issei closed the door and put on his shirt. This opened the door. Moments later. Miku 0H. Issei, what's wrong? Miku, nothing, just that Nino owes me now 5,000 yen. Issei, what does that mean? Miku, well, Nino and I bet that your room would be a mess, and since it wasn't I won. But it's very pretty and very elegant. Issei, I see, well, take a seat. Miku sat on the two-person chair. Miku mind, wow. It's more comfortable than the one in our house. Issei opened a small refrigerator and threw a sports drink to Miku. Issei, and what do you want to talk about? Miku, it's about the plan. Issei, if it's too bold we can change it. Miku, no, the plan is fine, but is the kiss necessary? Issei, if you want we can change it. Miku, it's not okay but well, I've never kissed anyone. Issei, well then you want to change that. Miku, I'll leave that and change it but I want to ask you a favor. Issei, yeah whatever? Miku opened her arms. Miku, give me a hug. Issei, a hug? Miku, yes. Issei approached Issei and hugged him. Miku closed her eyes and felt her heart beat. Some time later. Issei and Miku arrived with the others and sat down to watch the movie they chose. Order. Itsuki Nino Yatsuba Ichika Futaro Miku Issei. Futaro, Issei, your house is too big. Issei, you think? Some maids arrived with drinks and a big little box of popcorn for each one. Issei, you can leave, I will take care of them, you can go do other things you have to do, thank you. Maids, yes Issei-sama. Some time later. 12 a.m. Itsuki and Yatsuba were asleep on Nino's shoulders. Ichika fell asleep on Yatsuba's shoulder. Everyone had bet to see who would be the last one to sleep and who would win, and could ask for whatever they wanted, so they put on a movie marathon. Nino, Issei, Futaro, and Miku were still awake. Issei yawned, turned around and saw how Nino fell asleep on Itsuki's head. Issei one less this one noticed that he no longer had popcorn he was going to get up but. Miku, you can take mine. But Futaro also fell asleep but this one on Ichika's shoulder. Issei mind, idiot, I'll hit you tomorrow when you wake up. These were whispering. Issei, well then Miku, it's just you and me left. Miku, heh. So you want to double the bet? Issei, what do you want? Miku, I want to learn something so make an appointment with me on the 25th. Issei, well I accept and as for me, I want a kiss from a beautiful woman. Miku, I can talk to Ichika if you want. Issei, although I was joking, I was referring to you, Miku, you are also beautiful. Miku, huh? Issei, well I'll think of something. Miku, it's okay. Issei, what? Miku, if you win I'll kiss you. Issei, wait, you don't have to do this. Miku, so I'm not beautiful? Issei, no, it's not that, but you like Futaro. Miku, yes, but you do a lot for us. So I can give you that treat. Issei, Miku. Time after 2 a.m. Issei and Miku continued watching movies. Issei was already tired and was going to give up, but he felt a weight fall on his shoulder. He saw, and it was Miku. Issei touched Miku's cheek. Issei, idiot, you should have gone to sleep on Futaro's shoulder. Drake and Issei conversation. Issei, well, I think I'll take them to their room. Drake, I'll tell you where they are. Issei, good. Issei calmly stood up and adjusted Miku's head. Drake, this girl's room is the first. Issei, well, if it is like that. Issei carried Miku as a princess. Issei, it's very light. Miku opened her eyes a little. Issei, she should go back to sleep, I'll take care of you. This closed them again. He left the place and took Miku to his room, left her in his bed and sheltered her. Issei, you fool, the one who should have done this should have been Futaro, not me. He stroked her hair and went to the exit. Issei, 1 less 5 left. When Issei closed the door, Miku's face turned red and she covered her face with the blanket. Miku, idiot, because I feel safe and secure only with you. She felt her body hot because of Issei's behavior. End. Part 4 Problems. Issei had left everyone in their room and had also taken a bath, and now he was heading to his own. From behind, Grafia saw Issei annoyed. The next day, the quintuplets were cooking with food with Issei and Grafia's mother. It was already past 12. Mother, Issei, no, Miku-chan, if you do that after 5 minutes the omelet will stick and burn. What should you do? Grafia, she has very good knife handling. Nino, Edo, thanks. Grafia, very well, there are 8 dishes inside, food for everyone without counting Rios-sama's. Nino, Edo, 1 2. Ichika 3 4. Itsuki 5 6. Yatsuba 7 8 9. Miku, not missing one. Grafia, AAA, it's Issei-sama's. Itsuki is not going down either. Grafia, Issei-sama left at 5 to finish a contract that was requested at yesterday's meeting. All, huh? Grafia, they could have done it, but with Issei-sama it was the safest option. They all went into shock. They thought that Issei was still asleep because they appeared in their beds and none except Miku knew or Futaro, so Issei was the answer. They were going to make him a meal to thank him. Mother, Issei, don't worry, I'll make Issei eat the dishes you made, even cold ones if necessary. And besides, it's Issei who would eat them even if he just finished eating. They all laughed. Nino, well, if he eats Miku's dishes, that's true. Miku, hey! They heard a voice from a maid. Welcome back, Issei-sama, huh? Issei arrived at the kitchen with his clothes torn and lipstick all over his neck and face. He gave the contract to Grafia. Issei, and don't buck around for the rest of the week. This one was upset. Grafia was reading the report, and as she continued reading her eyes widened. Report, I arrived in the land of the Amazons when I saw a man and saw that he did not bow down. They arrested him and took him before the leader and the strongest Amazon. After 3 hours locked up, they took me before her. When they saw that I was going for an alliance, they laughed and gave a conversation to be talked about XD. Note, Issei, maybe I said something that upset them, that they made me have a duel to the death with the leader and strongest Amazon with my hands tied. The duel was won and the Amazons, upon learning who he was, changed their minds and all rushed forward. They signed the contract with the condition that when there is no population, the Red Emperor will have children with them. When I turned to see Issei, he was being cleaned by each of the quintuplets, but Nino and Ichika were doing it angrily. Grafia, Issei-sama yo. Well, you have to go to A. Issei turned to look at her, but Ichika made him look at her. Ichika, I'm not done yet. Issei, yes. Grafia. Some time later. Issei was eating the dishes that each one made, but Ichika put a large amount of salt on a small part of the rice. Nino made a strawberry cake, but on the back he put a topping of extra spicy sauce. Mika made an omelet that turned out well, but after seeing Issei she let it burn. Yotsuba gave him a plate of fruit with nothing wrong with it. Itsuki gave him meat buns, some with a lot of salt and others with a lot of spice. Issei ate everything calmly, surprising Grafia. Issei, it was. The four of them looked at him with a dark smile. Issei, it was very tasty. The five smiled. Issei, I'll go change. Issei's mother and Grafia laughed bitterly. Grafia, they are very much in love and upset. Issei mother, yes. Time after late. Issei took a bath and went to sleep for a while. When he woke up he saw marks on his neck and one on his chest. Issei, I don't remember these marks. Well, it shouldn't be important. But he felt a murderous aura in the place. With the girls. In front of Itsuki and Nino was Rias with a cold look, and the three of them were with their arms crossed, showing their big breasts. Rias's were clearly bigger. In front of Miku and Ichika was Akeno. The six of them were giving off a very scary aura. Rias, I won't tell you one more time, go, Issei is mine. Itsuki, you know between what is reality and fiction because even what Issei is not yours. Akeno, era fufu, what a mouth, now I understand why you are plump. Itsuki, nanny. Akeno, now did I hit the nail on the head? Ichika, and this is said by the slob who went to the festival and left without talking to Issei. Akeno put on a serious look. They started to insult each other. With Issei. He heard everything. They were fighting outside his room. Issei, I should go out. Drake, if you go out you mess up. Issei, good point. Drake turned to the other side, breaking the fourth wall. Drake, oh, this fight is really ugly. What insults would you say to each one? Reality with Nino and the others. Rias, get out of here, I'm going to see my Issei. Itsuki, do you think you have the right to that? Rias, yes. Nino, and you say it with that face and salsa hair. Rias, sauce? Nino, I don't know what kind of brain you have, but if you can't understand something that we can, then you're more of an idiot than I thought. Rias, shut up, you don't know anything. Ichika, is this said by the one who left the man who defended her for another who only comforted her at the right time? Rias, what? With Issei. Issei stood up and went to the door. He left a lot to fight over. With Nino and the others. They were breathing heavily because they were insulting. Rias turned around and saw a ring on Nino's hand. Rias, where did you get that ring? Nino, this? She smiled. Nino, Issei gave it to me when he told me to be his girlfriend. All what Nino, he told me he was going to propose to someone but things didn't work out and he asked me out with this. Rias, that's my ring. Issei opened the door. Issei, don't exaggerate kid, that's not what happened. When he saw Rias and Akeno, his gaze changed to a bored one, and then he smiled. Issei, but those are your feelings. Issei approached Nino and took her by the waist to take her chin and bring it closer to his face. Ichika and Itsuki were surprised. Nino, hey nanny no. Issei came closer but Ichika/Itsuki/Akeno/Rias, stop. Issei, I'm joking. Issei was about to let go of Nino but she hugged him by the neck and let herself fall. Nino was hugging Issei's head while kissing it and moving his tongue. All huh. When Nino's kiss with Issei ended, she whispered in his ear. Nino, don't play with me like that because I'll get revenge and get out of here. End. Part 5. Issei was driving. He saw the girl who was next to him. Issei, if they knew about this it would be a problem. Issei house. Itsuki, I can't find it anywhere. Nino, that idiot came forward to leave with him. Itsuki, I won't forgive her. Ichika, if he knows that we want to be with Issei. Nino/Itsuki/Ichika, Issei. With Issei. Miku, is it a problem? Issei, no, but you can get bored. Miku, I won't always have the chance to see you in a suit and see what you do for a living. Issei, and I see. Issei continued driving for a while, arriving at a large, elegant hotel. Miku, huh? Issei went out and opened the door for Miku to leave. Butler, welcome Issei-sama. Issei, I leave it to you. This one threw him the key. Issei, come on Miku. These began to walk. Miku saw the people who were going to the event. He saw that many men were alone, but those who had a woman with them had her arm around them. Miku approached and hugged Issei's arm. Issei, and Miku? Miku, all the companions do this so. She blushes. Hours before. Graphia, Issei-sama, sorry for interrupting, but. Issei, but you'll still do it, right? Graphia, if there's a party in a while and Searches-sama wants me to go. Issei, do I have a choice? Graphia, no. Issei, oh. Well. Graphia, and you have to bring a companion. Issei. The girls listened and set off. Issei, bring a companion if I don't even have anyone to bring. Issei is wearing an elegant suit, and he took the keys to the car where he was going to go. But Miku was there in a blue dress. Issei Miku? It's him. I smile. Present. There were a lot of people. They were people from different factions and some humans. The women knew that Issei would come to the party, so they came with very extravagant dresses, but with normal hairstyles and makeup. The leaders had flirted with Issei's tastes. The leaders and fathers of their daughters made them dress like that to steal Issei's heart. Miku, seeing the women in those dresses and the figure they had, felt inferior to them. When people saw Issei coming accompanied by Miku, they were surprised. Some time later. Woman, have you seen? Woman 2, that chick came with Issei-sama. Woman 3, what ugly tastes he has. The women covered the girl's mouth. Woman, shut up, do you want the family to be destroyed? Woman 3, huh? Woman 2, currently Issei-sama is the fourth strongest existence, only surpassed by the dragon gods. Why do you think Dad brought us here to seduce Issei-sama? The three of them saw Miku from head to toe. They saw pose, face, body, makeup, attitude, and dress. The pose was not good. Her face was pretty. Her body was average. Her attitude was average. The dress was not very pretty but not ugly either. Miku let go of Issei's arm and said something in his ears, so he nodded. And he left. Woman 3, very well, we will follow her. We will tell her to stay away from Issei-sama and that's it. Woman, idiot, now I understand why Dad didn't want you to come. I have an idea. Some time later. A beautiful woman arrived next to Issei. Woman 4, any Issei-sama. Issei looked at him and hugged him with a cold look. Woman 4, tell me what your current goal is, getting married, being single, having a lover for your carnal needs, or having children? I can be the lover and have your children, Issei-sama, so tell me what your goal is. The people stared at Issei waiting. Issei, I haven't thought about it, but if I ever need it you'll know. When Issei said that, the girls screamed Kia. Issei, Miku took too long. Drake voice, buddy, there's a little problem. Issei. Some time later. Issei knocked out 3 men who tried to take Miku to a separate room. Miku was surprised, but Issei hugged her as soon as he finished. Issei, sorry about that, are you okay? Miku, yeah. Miku saw the knocked out guys. Issei, that's enough, let's go. But 3 men knelt before Issei, leaving Miku perplexed. Men, we are so sorry, Issei-sama. Issei. Well, I'll let you express your regrets. Issei took Miku's hand and they left. When Issei and Miku arrived at the exit, Issei asked Miku what she wanted to do, go home or go to dinner. Miku, Issei. Issei, yes? Mika, why did you decide to leave Ka? Issei. Memory. Azazel, how are you? Graphia. Besides just training, eating, going on missions, listening to violent music all night and sleeping with any girl, what do you think? Azazel, not bad then. Graphia looked at him with a cold gaze. Azazel, yes, tell him I'll see him in my office tomorrow morning. Graphia, I will do so. Azazel, see you later, thanks for taking care of him. The next day. A girl is seen in Issei's bed without clothes. She was asleep, but Issei was not seen. This one was on the two-person couch lying down, had headphones on and some popcorn. Issei was staring at the ceiling as if nothing else mattered. Issei sighed and left the popcorn on the floor to close his eyes, but... Graphia, good morning, Issei-sama. Issei, aaa. He took Graphia's hand and threw it. Issei, oh Graphia, I'm so sorry, you know I don't trust a shadow. Graphia, it's not my fault, I should have known by now that this is happening. Issei, okay. He lay down on the couch and closed his eyes. Graphia approached and wet Issei with a spray. Issei, how many times have I told you not to do that? Graphia, forgive my ignorance, but I'm worried about you. Issei, you have nothing to worry about. Good night, Graphia. Graphia, Issei-sama and dawn. She opened the windows. Issei, SSS AAA. Graphia, Issei-sama lives in the middle of nowhere in a forest, figuratively and literally. Issei, glad? Graphia, Issei-sama can't spend his whole life dressed in black listening to violent music and without sleeping through the night. Issei, of course I can. Graphia, well, I don't care. Tomorrow you will go see Azazel, he has a mission for you. Issei, tell him to send the girls. Graphia, says it's a mission for you. Reality. Issei, it's not important, let's go. I just wanted to take a break. Mika and Issei were staring at each other. Miku, I owe you something. Time later, Issei's house XD. Mika and Issei arrived and were greeted by Futaro and the girls. Issei was going to say hello, but the girls took Miku away. Futaro, Yotsuba and Issei greeted each other and started talking. With Mika. Ichika, why did you go ahead? Itsuki, it's not fair you went on a date with Issei when I wanted to go too. Nino, what happened? They didn't make it more perverted, right? Miku, of course I didn't just go with him to the work meeting and... I was going to say something else, but she stopped and turned red. Oh, what did you do? Several days later. House of Gremory. Graphia, that's happening. Venelana, this is bad. If Issei manages to convince the faction leaders that the future should only be used for big emergencies, he may also decide to move away from the Gremory family. Zeotikios, but from what I see, you have a plan ready to prevent that from happening, right? Graphia, yes, but this will depend on you, dear, and on you, Zeotikios-sama. SrabrazosxD, we? Graphia, currently Issei-sama is in his mating season. To prevent him from getting out of control, Issei-sama had relationships with many women, but from what I see he has not been having with any since he met those girls. In order to control him, Issei-sama has suppressed his power, and has asked me to turn the bath water into ice before he enters. Venelana, but what does that have to do with it? Graphia, that's what I'm getting at. As I see it, Issei-sama is about to explode with a stimulation strong enough and could lose control. SrabrazosxD, well, that's easy, you just have to ask a maid to sleep with him. Graphia, pay attention please. Venelna, so what you're saying is that... Graphia, if we want Issei to continue supporting the Gremory family and the Venelana-sama underworld, I must have hex with him. Venelana/Zeotikios/SrabrazosxD, we... SrabrazosxD, wait, did you lose your mind? Graphia, I was thinking about it every day after Issei-sama told me that when it ends he would ask to be free from his responsibilities. SrabrazosxD, this can't be. Venelana, and how are you so sure it will work? Graphia, if one of us had hex with him, the guilt would torment him and he would think things over more. I wanted to talk to you because, well, we know the current Issei-sama. We don't know how long it will take Issei-sama to convince the others, but we know it won't take long. SrabrazosxD, laugh you idiot. Zeatikos, yes, if I hadn't been so blind we wouldn't be in this mess. Venelana, so what are we going to do, or who of the two should be the one to mess with Issei? From what I see, the only option is me, right? Zeatikos, let's calm down first. SrabrazosxD, first I will talk to Issei about this topic, then I will try to gain a few days to mentally prepare myself if you have to sleep with him. Zeatikos, me too, although for me it is less of a burden because Venelana and I have not had any action for years. Grafia, we don't have that much time. Issei-sama's mating time ends tonight, and it would take him 6 months to come back. SrabrazosxD, and with the current Issei, it wouldn't take more than 6 months before he achieves his goal. Zeatikos, damn Grafia, what is Issei's motivation? Grafia, Issei-sama wants to be with his friends after graduating and until he finishes college. Zeatikos, well then we don't have to make any of you sleep with him. 3 or 6 years without Issei we can handle that. Grafia, I consider if Issei were to become someone's boyfriend, or would they get married? Zeatikos, that. Grafia, Issei-sama told me that if something like that were to happen, he would try to leave the supernatural as much as possible. With Issei. Issei's voice, I don't regret having met them. I don't want to admit it, but I think I'm falling in love. Azazel voice, ha 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 ha. Tell me what made you want to be by her side. I don't think it's because of their personalities, and by personalities I mean their breasts. The girls listened to Azazel and were upset. Issei's voice, let's see, calm down a little. And if it's true, it wasn't because of that. The four who heard what Issei said made them turn red. Azazel's voice, so what? Don't tell me you want to go to bed at 5? Ouch. Issei's voice, that's not the kind of relationship we have, and second, if I wanted that, you and I know I would have already gotten it. The girls became nervous when they heard that if Issei had had that kind of intention, he would have taken them. Nino, me and Issei? Mine, child. Issei, I will not let anyone have you, child. I prefer to have you than let someone else have you, and if not, I will have to submit you to me. Nino imagined herself with a necklace and heart-shaped eyes and Issei shirtless on top of her. Reality. Nino, no Issei, you can't. She had her legs hugged while moving them. Nino, I told you to stop. Itsuki/Ichika, stop your filth. You are still listening. Azazel voice, and which one is your favorite? Issei's voice, although I love them equally I think Itsuki. Itsuki Emmy? Issei's voice, but Nino too. And Ichika, it's complicated, but as I said I love them all equally. Azazel's voice, well, why is that? Issei's voice, after so much time of listening to Issei-sama this, Issei-sama the other. Issei-sama, marry my daughter. Issei-sama, I love him. And that each person had a hidden intention for who I am. Azazel's voice, well, you are also someone very important. Issei voice, what I mean, they are special, no one in the world would tell me something like. Shut up, Issei. Azazel's voice, oh? Nino was blushing, and the reason was because she once said that to Issei. Issei's voice, at that moment I knew there was a place for me, a friendship where they wouldn't be so afraid or so respectful of me. But I don't think this will continue like this. The girls looked down, trying not to show what they felt for Issei, and he confused him. Itsuki, I have a plan. The end. Part. Definitive end. Advance. Ichika, I don't want to be a party pooper, but didn't we say we were going to stop Issei from seeing our real father? Miku, yes. Ichika, he didn't go where Issei went, he went for the drinks. Nino, obviously. Ichika, A. All, oh no. Burst. Prologue version 2.0 DXDXD. SrabrazosxD, a gift from me for the new year and for the delay. Issei was looking at a cafeteria. Issei, a new school, huh? Drake, To think that he would take revenge in that way. Issei, yes. Memory. Issei was stopping the energy sphere that the 6 dark dragons launched. Issei couldn't let that happen, so he was stopping the attack with all his power. He saw Rias and the others and the children. He saw how some boys were hugging them. Issei gritted his teeth. The attack continued to push Issei back until he reached the floor. Issei drag. Drag, yes. This one came out of Issei's body and began to put magic barrier circles on everyone. Sirsex, what are you doing, idiot? Miguel, save yourself. Drake started to leave a barrier for the girls. Rias, it's crazy, Issei Hull. Drake finished and returned with Issei. Issei used his last armor. Akeno, Hull Issei. Issei's armor was destroyed. Issei, hey Valakiba, I left the rest to you. Issei stretched out his hand to make an extra red barrier for everyone. Issei, that should be enough for him to survive. When the explosion ended, only sand remained. All the people came out of the arena and started coughing from the sand they inhaled. Kiba, Issei-kun. Valley Issei. Sona, Haida-kun. Everyone started looking for Issei. Some time passed and they didn't find Issei. They all fell to the floor sadly. The boys were trying to comfort the girls, but a large rock fell when a figure of someone was seen. Tsubaki, Sona-sama. Sona, that idiot. Everyone turned around and saw Issei without his armor holding his arm. Rias and the others, seeing Issei, ran to him and jumped. Issei's face was between the breasts of Rias, Akeno, and Asia. They hugged him crying. Several days later, Grafia and Venelana were scolding Rias and the others for the reason. The boys put doubts in their minds to sleep with them. They told them that if they had experience, Issei would be happy because of that. They asked them and scolded them. Venelana, tell me, would you like to see Issei with another girl? Rias, no, no one can ever have Issei. Venelana, then why do you want to do that? Rias, no, I just want to know how to make Issei feel good. Venelana, that's what you want to know, well leave it to me. Some time later. Asia, Edo, why are we tied? Kaneko, will this make Issei senpai feel good? Akeno, Era being like this makes me shudder. Zenobia, even her outfit reminds me of the one she used to wear before. They all had a leather suit. Venelana, you will know. They put a projector where they played some videos. They were all surprised. Rias, Mom. Venelana, well, good luck, see everything and you will know what to do with Issei later. Grafia and Venelana left the girls there for 24 hours. Afternoon with Issei. Issei was in his bed, he was fine, he was with Azazel. Speaking when Rias and the others entered with the suit that Venelana gave them. In addition, a liquid was visible on her leg. Azazel, what's going on? I'm talking to Issei, wait outside. The girls attacked Azazel and then took him out and closed the door. Azazel, so rude? This is war. The next morning the girls came down with happy faces. Mother, and Issei? Rias is sleeping. Issei's status is sucked XD. Days later. The girls were having hex with Issei every day, but Issei, huh? Transferred? Azazel, if the school made a mistake and now you will have to go to this school for the rest of the year. Issei, wait, but the girls know? Azazel, they were the first to know. As soon as they found out, they were the first to say that they would go with you, but there was no room, so you will go alone, Issei. Azazel smiled from below. Azazel, so get ready if the girls were like this now. Wait, how are they going to be now that they know they won't have you for a year? Issei. Drake, he died in the most macho way possible. Buddy, can I have your room?
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.